Hello, I am Daniel Bloodworth. We are Easy Allies, and this is the Easy Allies podcast. This week, I am joined by Michael Huber.
Hello.
Michael Damiani.
How's it going?
And making it all happen in the control room, we got Don Casanova.
Hello.
Isla and Gabby are both out with crazy headaches this week. Isla will join us for the Elden Ring discussion. We could not stop her from doing that over a Zoom call. So look forward to that. But otherwise, they are resting at home. But we are here to talk about what's new, what's news, and what we've been playing. As we said, that Elden Ring discussion, that Shadow of the Erdtree discussion is here. Like 25, 30 minutes on that.
Spoiler free.
Yeah. We got hands-on time with Nikoderiko, which was in one of those showcases back then. It's like the Donkey Kong Country-esque game. I got to play a little demo of that. Metal Slug Tactics, Don got to put some time into. Limited Run had a thing today, and they had a bunch of announcements in their summer showcase.
The fact that they're calling Fighting Force 2 a beat-em-up is kind of weird.
Okay.
Just going to say that.
We'll get there. We've got our patrons' top 10 box arts. But before we get to all of that, Nintendo finally dropped that Direct with
Nintendo!
24 hours or less official notice. And there are, in fact, quite a few great Switch games still to come. So let's get started on that. We're not going to go through everything because there's so much between both of these showcases. We're going to hit the big boys. Starting with the biggest, Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. After years and years, we finally get to see this thing in action.
Beautiful 900p. Beautiful 900p. Confirmed by Digital Foundry. 60 frames. 900p. Switch one.
Absolutely.
Which one? Cross-gen, right?
Yeah.
Cross-gen for sure.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Definitely.
But I don't think they're working on porting it just yet. But,
yeah. I mean, as I said in our reactions, I'm glad it's real. We've seen it, and it looks like Metroid Prime. But almost 48 hours later, I'm like I feel like, man, I need to be wowed the next time I see this because it looked like Metroid Prime, but I wasn't seeing anything very special to me. It just looked like more by the book Metroid Prime. So I'm in that phase, like the excitement phase is over, and I'm in the, you need to show me what's unique about this one because now I have like those weird concerns, like this can't just be Metroid Prime 1 again. It can't. As awesome as the game is, it's like, it can't be 21 years later, 20 years later, whenever, 21 years later, and it's like, you got to do something. Especially with all the major franchises getting like a cool new innovation on like Switch, like especially like with Zelda's big leap. I feel like Metroid has not like broken into that higher like echelon of like Nintendo games. Maybe from a quality standpoint it has, but from like a sales and broader reach, it just never has hit that.
Yeah.
And I was
Dread actually did kind of break through more than the rest.
A little bit, but like it's still not like, I would argue it's probably not what you consider like a system seller. Like people were speculating that this might be a launch title for Switch 2, and I'm like, it could be, like it could have been in the, it still could come out the launch of Switch 2, the view is cross-gen, but like I don't think it's like a series that generally like excites over like a 3D Mario or Mario Kart, even now like Zelda. Like Zelda broke out of being like a critically acclaimed and a good selling series to like this is a massive series. And but it also like did new things. I'm like, these are two different things. Obviously, sales, that's one thing. I'm more concerned, honestly, about what's the weird, crazy gimmick in this game. Because it has to have one, in my opinion. Because if it's just more Metroid Prime, Huber, this is not like one of those instances where, man, we haven't seen one of these games in 15, 20 years. I'm just okay with that. This is not Metroid. This is not Metroid. It cannot just be Metroid.
Yeah, I think...
You read my mind.
The thing about
especially because we just got Prime Remastered too to scratch the itch.
Yeah, and I think that's definitely in a weird way doing a disservice to this because it's just clearly running on a lot of the same visuals, and like that game looked gorgeous.
I wish the feedback of the blaster was better. It lacks major impact. I just want to say that was my major criticism.
Okay.
I was not feeling the blaster at all. Even when she charges it up, I don't feel the like visceral impact of it. It feels kind of weak. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, the initial normal blaster kind of tends to.
Yeah.
It's because you've got your missiles and you got
For
the
sure,
other
for
things.
sure.
But yeah, there is very much, like, in terms of the gameplay they're showing, like, this does feel like opening scene, back to basics.
Tutorial section here almost, maybe right after.
Yeah, because, like, you know, we see, like, yeah, your ship landing, you see your scan visor, you see your lock-on targeting, morph ball, charge beam, missiles, which are on, like, a little diamond thing, which is a little different HUD-wise. And so, yeah, it is almost like they're holding back on what's new and just, like, wanting to show is, like, hey, this is Metroid Prime, and you know it plays like a Metroid Prime game, and like at least that part of it is set. You know, like you don't have to worry about it being weird or broken or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like with Damiani the same way. Like it's been such a long wait, and then the behind the scenes rumblings that it's like, okay, they had to like rip it away from one developer and restart it at Retro. You do want to see a little bit more, especially when we got these other games that like showed off brand new mechanics, like out of the box features and things.
I think that's the exact thing that's doing this such a disservice right now, Blood. It's not that I think this game is probably going to be great and everything, but it's that reset that it had to go through. Having that reset, I think, raised the expectations for it to the next level. Like, so that, like, if this was the exact game we saw back then, I think there would have been a lot of satisfaction.
Yeah.
But the fact that it got booted or whatever, rebooting it, is like suddenly everyone was expecting this like mind-blowing thing, you know what I mean? Which is obviously like, I don't know if it's gonna be that.
Yeah.
Like we're expecting some other level of production, I think.
We have seen lately that when a game is announced and takes so freaking long, I'm looking at you, Hellblade 2 and Silksong, the expectations rise, whether justified or not, you know? So yeah, the fact that this is, you know, first party also, we're judging that. I'll always judge a first party game harder. Always. You know, a flagship Nintendo franchise. So it's got a lot kind of like working against it now, but like Don said, it'll probably be great, but just like we're in that phase where it's like, you know, after all this time and all these rumblings, like just seeing this little slice didn't really do it for me yet.
Also, I mean, there have been so many Metroidvania games that have come out too that, you know, are also innovating. So like, it has, I mean, a lot more of them obviously being in 2D than 3D, but that's the thing. You expect Metroid to be kind of like a leader in innovation in that way. And hopefully, I'm looking at chat and I see some freaking out about me suggesting gimmicks. It's not gimmick as in like motion controls. I'm talking about like a gameplay hook that is innovative. That's not necessarily like I didn't mean to like be
like the morph
negative
ball or something.
But no, like Prime 2 had light dark world type thing. Prime 3 had you go and do different worlds. Dread had parry mechanics and melee stuff. It's like Other M did too, but like Dread did it well and actually integrated into more traditional Metroid gameplay. Each one has kind of done something a little bit unique, whether it's been successful or not as well received. And I'm kind of like wondering, what are they going to do next with that? Is it going to be in the environments? I mean, it's a Metroidvania, so you have to have some form of being blocked by items and like more so like basically like I want it to be like giant, like, seamless, interconnected, environments. This would be the dream, like big open world, but like what Zelda was trying to do, but actually has unique items all over the place. And like as you get them, it dictates which items you go for, dictates how you progress. So like where you go, Huber, and I go will completely different in Metroid Prime 4.
I would love
like we could have completely unique experiences because I went this way, you went this way. And it's like, I'm in like Norfair and like, dude, I'm in Brinstar. It's like, yo, what? How, like, why are you there first? Like, that's the type, like, that's what I'm hoping for. It might not be that. And it'd be fine if it's not that. But like, it goes into the expectations. Like, there has to be something like more. Even if it's like, okay, well, the gameplay is going to be faster paced and it's going to, it's going to have more enemies on screen and it's going to be like more challenging or something. And the bosses, it could be way more bosses, like just something.
I feel like a little bit of that goodwill and benefit of the doubt also went to Dread. It's like, oh, Metroid's coming back in a big way. Here we go, Metroid Dread. Like, expectations in check. But Metroid, awesome. And then, like, Metroid Dread was amazing, incredible game. So now it's like, okay, now we're going back to Prime. You're going to keep the number at the end, too. Prime 4. Not just Metroid Prime Beyond. This is Metroid Prime 4.
Beyond. And throwing Beyond in there now is like what a crazy like now you're jumping expectations higher, like of all things to put as a subtitle. There is that the post title screen too where they do zoom out. They show this big jungle area at the very end that looks like the mana tree or something.
Sick.
So that could maybe allude to some of the stuff that maybe Damiani wants, but it's a tricky thing with like, what do you show that makes a Metroidvania special? Because so many times those moments are things that like you didn't know going in, right? You get this item and I'm like, what does this, and like, kind of thing.
Absolutely.
You don't want that stuff spoiled, but you also want to be excited about the game when it's coming out next year.
Because like all Elden Ring has to do to look awesome is show you some big ass crazy bosses.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god, that looks crazy. What is that? Oh, that giant castle in the distance and a boss there. Where it's like Metroid definitely is like that moment of like realization of how to progress through something that's so hard to show in a trailer. Right.
Can you do this? Can you make I had talked to them about this, I think with Prime, when we were interviewing with Prime 2, was like, okay, can we get the speed booster here? And like, if you like go out the third person like you do with the morph ball and like speed boost through an area.
Sick.
Yeah.
Like like stuff like that. Even if it's like an old power that hasn't been incorporated into 3D Metroid yet, that would be amazing to see that in action too. So I completely understand that, and I think that would be really nice for them to have.
The one crazy thing that they are doing here though is freaking like nerd lore heavy. Silex is at the end of this thing.
Yeah, Blood is our resident Metroid Prime lore master.
This goes beyond even the stuff that I really knew. Like, I recognize Silex from Hunters, but I did not realize they've been like pulling this thread for a while now. So the 100% ending on Metroid Prime 3, you see Samus fly off.
You're about to spoil the 100% ending?
Then you see his ship fly off after her. Then, I didn't know about this one until people brought it up. Metroid Prime Federation Force
has impact on this?
Final scene.
No.
You see
No.
from first person
Stop.
someone going into the Galactic Federation, some base. They hatch a Metroid egg, and then you see Silex's shoulder. So the Metroids there are coming straight from the end of Federation Force of all freaking things.
Shit, dude.
That's cool.
But I
respect it. I will always respect long continuities. Resident Evil. Yeah, I love it.
What I love though about that shot though, when they bring Silex out, the Metroids are floating behind his shoulders.
Yeah.
In a way that's like almost like mirrors Samus's shoulder pad things. You know?
Yeah.
Good call.
A little.
Like,
it's cool.
Yeah, it gives that impression of like,
Foil.
this is the guy that you're gonna have to deal with now.
Rival.
Yeah.
Sure. And I'm sure there'll be like some narrative drive too. And like, to be clear, I don't need it to literally be like Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, open world. I just want more freedom and where I can go. Kind of think of like Hollow Knight. Hollow Knight, you can go in completely different environments that like you're not dictated
Dread
to go
does a
in.
bit of that too. You can move around in there. Yeah.
I think it needs to be more than Dread. I'd like it have more flexibility than Dread. And then is it going to have any kind of like new systems like? I mean, every Metroidvania now is doing like amulets / badges. Is like something similar going to be incorporated in this, where you pick builds for Samus? It's not
Damiani,
like
you're absolutely right to expect innovation from Nintendo. It's their middle name. Completely reasonable ask.
What if there was like a limit on like you can get all these power ups, so you can't use them all at once? What if you have to like pick like what you're going to be using and like turn off? I mean, because you already can do that in like older games, disable
stuff. Yeah.
But like what if there was like a limit, or you have to upgrade for slots? I don't know. There are all these types of ideas. Like I hope they do something like that.
Combining
and, like,
powers could be an interesting thing too. Yeah.
Look at, I mean, it doesn't have to be original innovation, obviously. Just look at what other, excellent Metroidvanias are doing, and also maybe work it in as well. Like, I don't think there's, anything wrong with taking that and building upon an idea to make your, new game, do something similar and make it better, honestly. Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. I mean, like Hollow Knight's badge system now has been copied by like probably half of the Metroidvanias that have come since then. Yeah.
Yeah. Just got a good one in Prince of Persia last night.
Nice.
Ooh, Samus needs a sick another air dash.
God, I love an air dash.
Like an actual attack air dash.
Right.
God. Dude, I still don't have double jump. in
Will
Prince of
they
Persia.
make
It's so
Zero
insane.
Suit Samus like playable in 3D in this?
Could be cool.
Oh. Like
be
a segment
interesting.
like Zero Mission?
Yeah.
Oh,
Or
dude.
you have like it's like your ultimate ability. You can't really use it that often. You
in
do,
Zero
like,
Mission, it's
ultimate
a
and it goes
they
third person.
inserted it at the end. Sorry, but like the gameplay changes for a little while.
Yeah, you get in basically you have stealth mode. You just have a little pistol.
Nice.
But I wouldn't want like it to be stealth. It would be like kind of cool if like Samus could actually like kick ass still in that, and like so you're not like having to play defense. It's actually a different type of style of gameplay. That might be
Right.
like sick. Oh man, that would be cool. Yeah.
like a glass cannon style. Snap their necks, but you also die really fast.
You're like a last stand chance, like you're low on
Oh,
health,
sure.
and
Yeah,
like
that'd
you
be
lose the suit, but you're still Zero Suit, and you could still try. Oh man, that'd be kind of cool.
Hell yeah.
Damiani.
2025. We got time though, Damiani. We got time for this.
Oh yeah, like I'm just being honest with my like where my head mindset is right
Right.
now. But like I'm giving like I know they get another chance to show it off before like I have any kind of like real concerns. It's more like this is what I want to see next time when they show it off again.
Yep. Next up, though, total surprise: The Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom.
Yo, open air Zelda games live. AJ and Anuma, you troll, telling us you weren't looking to make any more traditional Zelda games. Come on.
I wouldn't call this a traditional Zelda game.
I
at all,
mean,
though. This
we
is
don't
really
know what
interesting.
it technically is.
Yeah.
I mean, every Zelda has a unique gameplay mechanic. We're just literally talking about with like Metroid, what do they do? Like Zelda always does this. There's some weird, more of a literal gimmick in this sense. And this one has one as well. But I think the bigger thing is, one, it's using the Link's Awakening 2019 Switch games engine and visuals.
Yeah.
So it's
at
that
least
like
the
kind of
visual
like
style. Yeah.
yeah, like that toy look, like that was it tilt shift type, not quite. What is it? Like toy look. I mean, we saw it at E3 that year. They had like physical sets. It looks so cool. And then it looks like it's just going to be like no screen scrolling. It's just a seamless, nice big overworld, and you're playing as Zelda for the first time. And I think that's like one of the big. I mean, sorry, let me rephrase. First time in a official canonical game that people give a crap about, because she's been playable twice before in 2 CDI games and no one cares about that. She's been
Shout
playable
out.
in other Zelda games and spin-offs, but this is the first one mainline canonical that she is the star. She is front and center. She's not like teaming up with Link. As far as we know, it's just her.
Where
It's
in the
her. It's
timeline
her
is this?
adventure. Yeah.
Well, that's a fair question because
What?
this shot looks like a Link to the Past map in 3D.
Oh, I don't do any of this shit anymore before a game comes out. It sets me up for such disappointment when I try and like make expectations about this stuff. So it could
lines
be
up. The
it
shot
could-
from that
it could
shot,
be.
it lines up. Yeah.
It could be, but like I'll wait till I play it and be like, cool. It was this or it wasn't this. You never know. But you're right. The gameplay is a little bit different than your traditional Zelda game. Zelda does not go around with a sword and shield whacking enemies, and it's instead she's using the tri-rod
Yeah.
to clone or copy items and make copies of them to traverse gaps, solve puzzles, and fight. And while that seems pretty cool, I do got to be a little open and fair. I have seen some people who are a little bit unhappy that she's not doing direct combat. So I just want to acknowledge that not everyone is perfectly happy with
Maybe
this
you'll
setup.
be able to turn into Sheik or something later.
Yeah, I don't know.
who
Like, it's so early, but like I do understand there is a history there, and so I understand that. But for me personally, this looks very awesome, and I think it's going to play out very well in the end. Honestly, with the abilities.
Yeah.
I am nervous about it being like Tears of the Kingdom, but in 2D.
Oh, you mean like the build mechanic?
I freaking love it.
It
Tears of the Kingdom. You know,
why? What? Say why though, Heber? Why? What's your concern specifically?
Just not to shame myself, but Tears of the Kingdom was the first Zelda game in my entire 36 years of being on this planet Earth that I did not care for.
But why? Like, was it like the crafting, having to fuse everything?
Yeah, it just feels like homework. It felt like work. It felt like I couldn't enjoy it. I was just like working all the time.
If this is more streamlined, this does look more streamlined, where it's less about having to combine specific parts, and it's just like it's in front of you. Just copy this. Whatever is in front of you is what you need to use. I feel like that is within the more traditional confines of like Zelda puzzles, whereas like Tears of the Kingdom did have you need to think a little bit more outside the box and be creative and use anything and everything around you to like cheese stuff or come up with an intended solution. I mean, I'm sure there'll still be cheese in this, but like I feel like this might be a little bit more straightforward, and hopefully you will probably enjoy this a little bit more.
Yeah, because playing a Zelda and the world and the art and the perspective and all this seems so cool.
Yeah, well, just creating spiders to make ropes to climb across, like all of this stuff.
Like stacking beds, it's like so weird.
And then Redead to scare the moblins. Like there's so many things. Just like rewatching this now, like I didn't even catch the first time. Like all of the different things that you can do with it. It's so freaking cool. And maybe you will be able to like swap to a regular weapon too. You know, like you don't necessarily, because when she copied a monster, like she was able to copy it by defeating them first. Throwing a rock.
There's a triangle cost. It was explained for copying things, but one of them, the Octorok in the trailer, does not have a cost. So, and it's like the one she holds over her head to like fire out rocks at enemies like a cannon. So I do think there will be like things that fill a more like traditional weapon role for you as well. Like it'll just be easier, like because they don't want you to get into a situation where you don't have an offensive tool. I feel like it's just a precaution. So I do think they're showing off like creative stuff, but I honestly think they're gonna bare bones. I hope will give you like a more traditional weapon, whether it's like the Tri-Rod can just whack things in the worst case scenario. It's like, hey, stay, like even if it's just to knock them away or something, just to like buy you time. Or maybe she gets more traditional weapons later on as well, because I have no idea what the progression system is going to be. Like, are there going to be traditional dungeons? Is it just going to be like a giant overworld where you're just going, having to progress through an overworld? Like, we don't know these yet. As far, I don't think the press release or anything said anything about dungeons.
They said very little. They didn't do like a full press release.
So, we don't know anything about like the structure of the game other than there is a big open world to explore and that like environment, and that's really it. So I'm very curious about what that's going to be. But that also shows like some other characters, like what was it, like Impa doing some like ninja shit. Like I'm like, are they gonna
Deku in there? There's Zora's in there. I mean,
also it's not the first game with both Zoras. People, come on, like no, it's not the first one. The same with the both of them in there.
But even the intro, it looks like that's a playable intro. Like when Link is fighting Ganon and all that stuff.
That absolutely is going to be the beginning of that game.
Yeah.
I'm just curious. There's one thing I forgot to look up. I wanted to check it out, but like the Ganon's trident in Four Swords Adventures, there was some unique thing about it that I forgot now. I wanted to look it up. I didn't really want to get into lore stuff, but like I was wanted to see if it was like connected.
I thought you were going to try to avoid this time, Dami.
Yeah. Well, I was just like curious about like how it works, but
Can't resist.
Well, the thing is, because everyone says it's a Link to the Past map, they're like, is it a prequel? Link to the Past is it a sequel? Then you have like a Link Between
I
Worlds.
feel like with the logo, it's and the timing. I feel like this is in the Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom continuity somehow. That's my.
Yeah.
That's my.
I mean, I don't want. I like
see
hope
if it
it's just
sticks.
like, yeah. I hope they stop trying to make games and like the OG timeline or whatever. I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
I'd rather them stop wasting their time on that because it's such a mess and uninteresting at this point.
Yeah.
I'd rather them try and do something new.
I concur, Damiani.
I'm excited about the music too. Sorry, Blood.
Yeah, no, I think the thing that's interesting about it potentially being like the Link to the Past map, and then the Link's Awakening engine is that like Link's Awakening has always been this kind of like weird outlier to where like people have made different arguments about it's like, oh, it's connected to this Zelda or to that Zelda because like you're not in Hyrule, so it's like it could be wherever they say
it's connected to A Link to the Past.
Yeah, I think
you not play the GBA version that just dropped on NSO. If you didn't play it back in the day, they changed the witch's assistant to be Maple from Link's Awakening to make it even more apparent that it's influenced by that Link in that dream world. Like they were just like closing the loopholes there. Sorry, but I thought you were going to get at the point that maybe this might have originally started as a Link to the Past remake project in the Link's Awakening graphics engine.
Could be.
And they decided, let's be more ambitious. We just did. This is in Nintendo's MO. They do start games off as like sometimes as a remake or update of an original game, and then we have new ideas. We'll just change it into a brand new game instead of like instead of doing it. I think I might be mixing up, but wasn't A Link Between Worlds also do it? They started that way, and they're like, nah, let's just make it a new game as well. I might be misremembering that, but
I don't know that for sure,
but. Yeah, I prefer a new one over like a remaster remake. The exception would be games that are still gated to systems we don't want to boot up anymore, 3DS and Wii U, so that I could play them on my like current modern systems somehow. So, still hope for those someday.
Hell yeah!
Some of those. Still a lot of games not on, Switch, board compatible. We'll see.
Zelda hype.
Yeah, and that's really soon, September 26th.
Best way to announce a game of all time.
Yeah.
Boom. Here's a shit ton of gameplay, and it's out in 3 months.
Yeah. It's wild. Next up, one that I did not see coming, Mario and Luigi Brothership.
Great name.
Yeah. Like it's like the bonds between them, but it's also a literal ship that they use. It's like an island/ship that they go from. They pilot from one island to the next. Kind of reminds me of Mario Galaxy 2 when you had the like Mario head thing that flew around.
Yeah.
But what I love about this, first of all, is this art style.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of, especially like with Paper Mario the past 5, 6, maybe even more years, people talking about them playing it safe and not really, allowing the teams to like go outside of like the approved, designs of certain characters or whatever. And yeah, no, this just looks really different visually from anything else that they've really done with this series or any other Mario series.
Especially because we were saying that about Wonder, and this looks even more out there,
Yeah.
I'm very curious who's developing this because
absolutely.
Because reading up on after we saw the direct, a lot of Alpha Dream employees got picked up by different studios who also still work with Nintendo or are part of Nintendo. So it actually could spiritually still be a lot of Alpha Dream people working on this. But I'm very curious because it would be a nice sort of like happy-ish ending if, the studio that, had to close still, were able to carry on in some, way. But I'm glad this series is still continuing despite that because this is such an amazing series. I didn't get into it till pretty late because I think I was a little like either salty or something about like not getting more Super Mario RPG or Paper Mario style games. Like, what is this Mario and Luigi nonsense? Like, where's my Paper Mario? Where's like Super Mario RPG 2? And then like, no, I was so wrong. Like, all three of them are amazing. And in 1 year, we've gotten Super Mario RPG, Paper Mario Thousand Door, and a new Mario and Luigi. So Mario RPGs are doing well right now.
Cooking.
Yeah. and it just looks fantastic. All the brother attacks, the combination stuff,
Yeah,
like
the
it
combat
just
looked awesome.
it just looks so damn good. And like all the games have done like a pretty good job of having those innovative mechanics, not just for combat, but how you traverse the environments. It's just like a whole different style, and it's a fantastic how well each of these 3 different like Mario RPG series have like their own kind of like DNA, their own unique style and personality that differentiates them from the others. It's insane how they're able to pull that off.
And I will say, because I'm kind of the opposite of you, Damiani, where it's like I was like ground floor with the first Mario and Luigi game, and I loved it. And then the others, like I had picked up in like previews or whatever.
Bowser's Inside Story.
Yeah, like I previewed that
Story.
like when it came out in Japan, but then I never got to play the US version. And I've heard so many great things about it, of course. But the thing that stuck out to me more than anything, more than even Paper Mario, with the original Mario and Luigi was just how drop dead funny that game was. It is a genuinely funny game. And I'd say to me, like that's going to be the hardest thing for them to live up to, is to keep that level of humor up there, you know. And again, Bowser's Inside Story, just even the concept of that.
Yeah.
Like,
Insane.
running around inside of Bowser's body.
So crazy.
But yeah, so like some details they had in there, all the different islands from tropical rainforest to bustling cities, meet new friends that help you on your journey, and encounter familiar faces from the Mushroom Kingdom like Peach and Bowser. There are like all these characters in the trailer that like look like they had like plugs for faces. It's an interesting thing going on there. And then keep the brothership afloat and rely on Mario and Luigi's bond.
Sick.
Cuber.
Sick.
To save the day.
I love that it's just like so Mario and Luigi, man. That's always so fun.
Yeah, by employing bros moves to get past obstacles and powerful bros attacks to claim victory in a dynamic twist on turn-based combat.
Sick.
Yeah. Such a crazy thing, and such a great thing to like start the show.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you know, like I remember like when you first started seeing it, you're like, wait, what am I looking at?
Yeah, what
like it
the
doesn't
hell?
look like any other Nintendo game right now. Yeah.
And shout out Nintendo. Dude, you are ending the year how everyone wants you to end. A Zelda and a Mario. Like, we thought, you know, Damiani, we thought maybe, you know, they were going to hold stuff back for Switch 2 or kind of just coast off into the sunset. And it's like, no. They showed Metroid, Mario, and Zelda. That is insane.
Dude,
Above and beyond. Above and beyond. Even if they're spin-offs, they still, like, I still count them.
I feel like this has just been Nintendo's development strategy and production pipeline for this generation. Maybe it goes back before, but definitely it was on full display during the Switch generation, that they just have games done and ready to go, that they don't just release when they're done. They have them done and they wait for a great time to release them, which seems like a more sustainable and better business, like just better approach in every way than, hey, we got this tight deadline, we got to hit it. Now, some games, they're bigger games, I do feel like there's a little bit more pressure. But for some of these smaller projects, I think they're just like, no pressure. Take your time. You know, when they're done, we're going to hold on to it. We might not even put it out right away. And like they just keep those teams working on those games. And people just don't know what they're working on for a long time. Like people will be like, what are they working on? What are they working on? That's like great because like we don't know what they're working on, but it's obvious they're working on so much and they have these games ready to go. And I think that's what we're seeing is that they had some games banked ready to go and to fill in this lead into the Switch 2. And I think, yeah, they definitely got games in the works for that system too that like are going to be like blow us away. And it's like, wait, they had these in development as well. It'll be interesting to see if like that pipeline stays, you know, runs as smoothly when they hit like, you know, the spec upgrades on Switch 2. But I imagine probably not really going to impact too much, honestly. I feel like we're going to keep seeing this steady stream of releases from them. Yeah. And I think that, year one of Switch 2, man, like I think you get it like Think back to year 1 of Switch. Is it going to be? I feel like it's just going to be like that again.
Yeah, dude.
At least 3 to 4 heavy hitters are coming out.
The
Heavy
heaviest.
hitters.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I think too, Damiani, like, you know, it also sort of shows, like, Mario and Luigi is a perfect example of now that they don't have to support 2 platforms at the same time.
Yes.
Having all those teams working on the Switch rather than split up between handheld teams and console teams, you know, like, it's starting to pay off. We don't have this weird gap that we had in the past few generations where it's like, oh, the last 2 to 3 years of a Nintendo console just don't have anything. It's like, no, they're still good games.
That used to be the time period everyone dreaded.
Yeah.
It used to be like a fact. Now it's like, nah, not anymore.
Next up, we'll see how this goes. We'll see. There's some split opinions here. Super Mario Party Jamboree.
Optimistic. Very optimistic.
Yeah.
Superstars prove that they still have got it. And I know a lot of that content is old content, but it's still a new game. So I don't subscribe to the theory that it's just old shit. You know? It's like you can still mess that up, and they didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope they carry that momentum into this one. This trailer was awesome. The minigames looked cool from the brief shots we saw. They have a new mode, like a 20-player mode, which is rad.
The Coupathlon.
Yep.
20 players online.
They're bringing in
Don't know the
2
details.
classic maps, dude. Western Land for the win. You have this cool, like, hub area. I always love that stuff. And or was that the map as well?
The Galleria, I believe, is one of the maps.
Okay.
Because
I know
same
that
thing with the Raceway.
Because I love when Mario Party has like the little area where you can like go to the shop, spend your coins, like buy stuff. I love that, like stuff that kind of ties it all together.
You do see like an overworld, and then Goomba Lagoon has this thing that they show where like the tide comes in.
Yeah, the maps look really cool.
Yeah.
And then I don't know, it's like it's an explosion of Goombas.
Yeah.
And then the 2 classic maps, Mario Rainbow Castle. That's
Classic
the other one.
map.
Got
Classic
yeah.
map. Yeah, so like 7 maps is really good, and these mini games look super fun.
it. Yeah. 110.
110. That's a lot.
That's a lot.
A lot of mini games, a lot of maps to start. There's a whole nother conversation about like, you know, it's like sports game vibe now where it's like, well, didn't we just like buy a new Mario Party? Can't you just freaking update your damn Mario Party with like new boards and mini games? You freaks, like, come on, help us out.
When you sell 20 and 13 million copies for each of the 2 Switch ones, it's like then they know they'll sell that much.
This is another 20 million seller.
Yeah.
I think they are probably convinced that the majority of people who buy and play these games are not into updates for the existing ones. They're more probably trained. Their consumer habit is probably more aligned with, I want a new one like every year or 2. That's what I'm looking forward to. I want to move on to the new one, and like I'm excited for that, which is kind of like what happens with the sports games. Everyone's like, I want those up. I want the new stuff. And honestly, for us, like for you, bro, I know it'd be better to just have like Mario Party Ultimate and just like keep adding to it. That would be perfect for you.
Yeah.
And it might potentially make more money in the long run, but this is what's working, and I think they don't want to mess with something that's a proven strategy until it starts not working. Then they might reconsider it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
I'm
that's
excited
the thing because it's more of a casual thing. That that more casual reaction of like, oh, somebody's not going to be looking for like a hardcore like DLC update. Yeah. But it's like, oh, they see, they're walking through Target, they see it's like, oh, there's a new Mario Party.
Oh yeah, no, it makes sense, dude. Brand manager, business hat, 100% it makes sense.
And weren't there like the first 3 weren't all those on N64 before So it's nothing new.
Nothing new. New different era though.
Yeah.
Different era.
Kidding? Has any system had more than 3 on one?
GameCube had 4, 5, 6.
I don't think so.
Was 7 on Wii? If 7 was on GameCube, 7 was Wii?
I think so.
Yeah, because 4, 5, 6 were GameCube for sure.
Jeez.
Yeah. There's like 8, 9, 10, dude. 10 was on Wii or Wii.
I forgot we even got up
Yeah.
to 10.
Oh my
yeah, that's a lot.
There was a rough era. So Superstars really brought us back from the brink. I mean,
4 on
Mario Party never stopped selling, but the quality dropped off so hard. So the fact that Superstars brought me back from the dead again makes me very excited and hopeful for this one. And I'm just excited for that 20-player mode so I can beat more of you at once.
That's
Of course.
October.
Yeah.
October 17th.
Hell yeah.
Maybe online you'll finally meet your match.
Well, we'll get Chad in there. We'll get you all in there. Let's go.
Yeah, who's
ready.
gonna be
ready.
the ringer who knocks out Huber?
But yeah, but like just that lineup, Huber, like September Zelda,
Yeah.
October Mario Party, November Mario
They
and
had it
Luigi.
all ready to go, Damiani.
Yeah.
You're so right with those release dates, dude. You're so right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's been the Switch. I don't think they've gone more than like 3 months without a first party release.
They're
this
about to
entire
have-
life cycle.
They're
I
about
feel
to be
like.
number 1 NPDs all 3 of those months.
Yeah, they're coming for the crown.
They're not gonna be
Sorry,
called,
Sony,
but
they're
yeah.
coming. They're coming for 160 million corrected sales. They got that Hyrule Edition Switch Lite.
Yep.
Yeah.
They could push it over the edge right
That
there.
thing looks so sick.
Let's get into some third-party stuff. Fantasian, Neo Dimension. I'm so
Oh,
happy
man.
that this is finally getting off of the mobile Apple Arcade little hostage situation over there.
This is great.
If you're not familiar with this is from Miss Walker RPG, father of Final Fantasy, Hironobu Sakaguchi, with Uematsu doing music. And yes, and then we found out after
we
the
go.
fact that Square Enix
Yep.
is publishing this.
Not
I guess they
just-
said it there, but I didn't catch it.
Yeah, not just it's not just Square Enix publishing. It's Naoki Yoshida is teaming up with Sakaguchi to help push this out. It's Creative Studio 3
Wow.
who's handling this port, and there's like the photo of them together.
Yeah.
Like the
Wow.
reunion. So
They're all in.
this is probably gonna get. I don't know if it's like officially in there, but like I would assume this is getting some like touch-ups
It is.
as well.
Additional
It is,
Oh yeah.
absolutely
Oh
is.
yeah. Oh yeah. This is like
the very minimal stuff that they said is that there's a new difficulty option, and they're adding voice acting for both English and Japanese.
Oh, that's
heck
huge.
yeah.
Jeez.
So I wonder if this is one of the 2 games that Yoshi P said they were working on, because it's 2 smaller projects. When everyone thought it was Final Fantasy 9 remaster, and he had to spend a whole Final Fantasy 14 live letter last week, the beginning of it,
Right.
denying that and saying, no, people, please press stop reporting that. I wonder if this is one of them now, and then that means this is one more. But this is awesome. Like I came close to playing it on mobile because I wanted to try it. I think I booted it up and then stopped because I'm like, I believe it's coming to consoles. I believe it's coming to
Your
Switch
belief
someday.
paid off.
Yep. So I'm like, you know what? It's coming. I am definitely playing this on Switch when it drops. So heck
Are you
yeah.
playing it on Switch or are you playing it on something
yeah.
else?
Switch?
Because it's also on PC, PS4, PS5, and
No,
Xbox.
I want to play on my Switch in my bed and
Okay.
nicely comfortable. I don't
Okay.
want to play it on. No,
Yeah, it's a mobile game
Switch
first.
is the JRPG machine. Let's go.
Yeah, and if you're not familiar with it and you didn't catch from the video, a lot of the world and items are created out of 150 handcrafted dioramas, like little miniature models and stuff that they put and scanned in there,
love that.
as well as pre-rendered backgrounds similar to the PS1 era Final Fantasies.
I love that too.
Yeah, and then they also showed in there this ability with like some of your projectiles to like bend them to hit like multiple foes
Wanted.
and stuff. Yeah,
Magneto.
yeah, it's pretty cool.
I knew you were gonna say wanted or Magneto, so I was like waiting for which one you would say, Huber, and I was gonna say the other.
Do a Magneto Benzite bullet. It's so sick.
Also getting rescued from Apple Arcade, Hello Kitty Island Adventure. I did a preview for this. I played this at Summer Game Fest, so I don't have to say a whole lot about it. But essentially, the elevator pitch is Animal Crossing meets Breath of the Wild. So you have like all of your little Sanrio characters, like 400 Sanrio characters. and getting little gifts and things from them and increasing your bonds with each one, decorating your house with furniture, doing that stuff. But then there's also just this big, huge world to explore.
Wow.
And look for treasure chests. And you've got like the stamina wheel when you're like climbing sides of mountains, and you've got instead of a glider, you've just got like a bundle of balloons. And they've been like doing updates. They said they've been doing like major updates to the game every 6 weeks since it came out last year.
Jeez.
So there's like 80 hours of main content, not counting side stuff. And they've also specifically said that like they are very intentional when they put in new stuff to like, we don't want people to feel like they're being obligated to play the game.
Yeah.
That this is stuff that is going to be entertaining and enjoyable for them to keep coming back to the game.
Nice.
And because
Hello Kitty fans are loyal, so I'm sure they're so hyped on this.
Yeah, that's the thing. They said that that's the number one thing
Yeah.
they've been getting asked is like, when's it coming to Switch? When's it coming to Switch?
Yeah.
And it's also coming to other platforms later. I think it's Switch and PC first, and then PlayStation will be later on.
Nice.
Oh yeah, get it on Switch. Absolutely.
Yeah. So
Great call.
good stuff.
Yeah.
The next one, which we saw for the first time, I believe, is called Mio, Memories in Orbit.
This one.
Yeah, this is a side-scrolling
Oh, this
Metroidvania.
looks sick. Focus does sick shit, by the way.
Yeah, Focus is publishing this.
Heck yeah.
The team is the developers behind Shady Part of Me, which I just only vaguely remember that name. But they basically said, that Focus said that, like, hey, we love what they did with this last game, and so we're really interested to see what they do with this one.
Yeah.
It's a pretty cool art style. We got more plug people.
Plugs are in.
But you see like all the little sketch marks and hash marks like in the visual style. It's a neat shader that they have going on. Some of the things in the distance kind of like the colors kind of fade out, so you have focus on what you need to look at, and it just just seeing this stuff in action again, like it just
The movement looks excellent,
really nice.
which is like half the battle for a Metroidvania.
Yeah.
Looks
and
like some
people-
cool traversal puzzles. Combat looks slick and fast.
Yeah, there were definitely some
Very
people who were
promising.
saying that like this is the Silk Song consolation prize. It's like
Yep.
Nine
Hold us
Souls
over till
is
Silk Song
Nine
is. Yep.
Souls is the consolation prize, and Prince of Persia: The Last Crown, Lost Crown.
yeah, no, there's a lot of great Metroidvanias this year.
A lot.
But what we're seeing from this looks really solid so far.
Oh yeah.
This is a next year game too, by the way. This is a 2025 game.
Oh,
See?
wow.
Gotta have
Silk
stuff
Song
ready to
can
go for
breathe
Switch
now a little
too.
bit. Yeah.
It is also coming to PC, PS5, and Xbox. It's good
Sweet.
stuff.
Sweet.
Next up, this is more along the lines of what we are expecting out of this direct. Donkey
Yeah.
Kong Country Returns HD. And
Yeah.
Damiani
you're right.
was finding some nitpicks people have got with this trailer. What's going on here?
Oh yeah. I mean, again, it still has time because this is also a 2025 game, right?
January
It's-
16th.
So like 6 months away. People already posting videos, sharing them on social media and on forums right now about this is missing. It's missing effects, missing lighting. Colors are wrong. Like there is
Yikes.
currently what you're seeing is not quite right. And for a game called HD, whatever, when you say
what?
remaster HD, whatever, you kind of put those in, and it's Nintendo.
Yeah.
It's like
Wait, what was
this
the game that was on GameCube that was 60, but then it came to Switch and it was 30? What was that? That just happened
There were
recently?
a few of those.
It like just happened recently, like 6
Wait.
months ago. Help
Are
me
you
out.
so like no, I
Paper
forget
Mario.
that.
Paper Mario.
Yep. It was
Paper
Paper
Mario.
Mario
Thank
Thousand
you.
Year Door.
Yep.
But they've also done like with some Wii U ports, like Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze got like delisted on Wii U, and only the Switch version was available, and like they've done stuff like that in the past as well. But yeah, this is like it's been it has been brought up. The footage has been analyzed, and there is some like potential issues.
Damn.
But again, it's early footage, but also it's a game that is done. So this is like supposed to be like a port job, and it's being handled by Forever Entertainment, which Nintendo has like some investment in. They did the House of the Dead remake and the Front Mission 1 and 2. Yeah, the first remake and Front Mission 2nd. I do remember there were some like complaints about House of the Dead remake, so I think people need to also understand it's not retro handling this either, which for better or worse,
but if
that
Nintendo
like could be
is
an
going to
issue.
come out and re-release a game for full ass price here and call it HD, aka like the definitive version, it better be better in every way. There better be no compromises. This is unacceptable. I will not accept it.
Returns and Tropical Freeze are like revered games.
Yes,
they're some of like the best 2D or side-scrolling platformers. And it feels a little bit like a disservice if it's not going to get like the treatment I think a lot of people feels it deserves.
I agree.
In terms of like the fidelity. And as I said, there's still time to turn it around. And like, but if it like were to release, like if it released in this state, I think very justifiably so.
Better call Night Dive.
Kind of called out.
Call him up. Call Night Dive.
Like,
get him over here.
Yeah,
I'm curious to see the side by sides that you're talking about, Damiani, because it's hard because like when I look at the trailer, it's like it seems fine. Yeah,
it's on Game Explain. They have a whole video
right now, but yeah,
I meant, but like afterwards, like Game Explain posted like a big lengthy video, and I think a few other people have been sharing clips, but like I think they just compiled all of them. It's like it's there, and they slow it down for you, so you can see like lighting on like the forehead of one of like the octopus enemies is just not even there. The color of Donkey Kong and Diddy is wrong. Like the fur textures are wrong in some places on them. It's just and Vincent in chat is mentioning Digital Foundry also mentioned on their podcast today that they noticed issues with it too. So yeah, if you just like even if you just watch the trailer side by side with footage, slow down. That's all it takes. Yeah. So, yeah, but gameplay-wise,
Don likes it more than Tropical Freeze.
The silver lining is like, I hope like the gameplay should still be as awesome as it was, and you're not gonna have to use motion controls theoretically for this version either. So, if you only played it with motion controls for the Wii version, now you can play it with more traditional controls and have maybe a better time. Don, you think this is better than Tropical Freeze?
I 100% think it's better, and maybe I'll be proven wrong, but I think I think the rest of the world's going to be proven wrong because I know everyone loves Tropical Freeze, hands down, right? I really feel, Damiani, now I could be wrong, but what stood out the most for me was the wild inconsistency in the difficulty of Tropical Freeze. It's like a roller coaster through that game when it comes to ramping it up, where Returns had a perfect sort of progression, just a nice steady incline.
I think
I remember
it might
both
be
being challenging.
I think it's a lot to do with the motion controls, but I really remember like Returns feeling ridiculously hard when I had played it. And
I thought Tropical Freeze was way harder. But I think about that. With the motion controls gone now.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what it's going to play like.
The world's
going to
like it.
Very much.
Yeah. I love a re-examination, Don.
They're both great.
Hell yeah.
And next, Damiani, Dragon Quest III HD 2D Remake.
Yes.
You got to play this at Summer Game Fest, and then they snuck in, 1 and 2 HD 2D remake coming afterwards.
People were trying like their hardest, like not to like laugh at the preview event. Like I feel like everyone in the room knew, like, okay, you where's 1 and 2? Okay, you're not showing it today, but clearly you have this 1 and 2 is in the works, and you're just not talking about it just yet. But yes, got to check this out. I feel bad.
I don't want to look at it, dude. Get off the screen. I don't even want to look at it.
It's okay.
I was trying to immerse myself in like channel Huber spirit there. I was like,
so
dude,
good.
like Huber, this is for you. You were gonna have an absolute blast playing it. It looks gorgeous. Like the music, you can toggle between everything you want. I think you could possibly want is there. They talked about all these quality of life updates to make it a little bit more easy to get into for newer players, but also having those difficulty settings, Huber, they are there so you can make it challenging.
Challenging Dragon Quest.
And honestly, I think it's just like it's the start of, chronologically, it's the first game.
Yep.
So it's kickstarting off a revival.
I only ever played 4, 5, 6, 7 because of the handheld versions. Eight's my all-time. Obviously, 8 and 9 and 10 and 11, or not 10 and 11, of course. But 8 was my entry to the franchise, like so many of us.
Okay, got it.
And then went back and did 4, 5, 6 because of the DS versions. Those were incredible versions of those games. God, those were.
I had a good time with all that too.
So that made me just, after 8 and those, it just made me so obsessed with the franchise. Never finished 7 because it's like a 100-hour beast of a game.
I will say,
and then of course 11 is incredible, and we're waiting for 12.
Yes.
Now what a gift to be able to go back to the beginning. And I played one
thing?
with Blair.
Matt Blair?
Matt Blair. Because he was upset. 1 was his favorite of all time. We used to debate about 1 versus 8. And
really?
He was obsessed with 1 because you were just one character. Dragon Warrior.
Yeah.
You were like the one person. So he just loved that.
I don't think I've ever played 1 in any form.
Oh,
So
really?
like, I can't wait
Crazy.
to. Now next year or whatever they said it's happening 1 and 2. So, but this one, Huber,
It looks so good.
looks so good.
Excited.
The one small thing I was trying to say was that the Switch version will only run at 30 frames. It's like the only small thing is that all the other versions were at 60. But with this coming out, there's absolutely gonna be a Switch 2 version of this. So there'll be a 60 frames version. There'll be a 60 frames version of this at some point. So on handheld. So you don't have to worry about that. So it was very fun. There were people at the event when I talked to afterwards, they were saying I'm still getting my ass kicked by this game and stuff. I was trying to fight this stuff and I got decimated. I was like, oh, did you not go around and grind for a little bit?
A little bit, baby.
I was like,
Get
that's the
some
first thing I
gold
did.
Buy a weapon, dude.
Yep. Dude, I told you in the preview discussion, the economy, still very tight economy.
Yes.
Very expensive, very hard to buy things early on. But I still felt a good sense of I want to go over here. What's over here? And check this out. And it does feel like there's a little bit to peek into and explore. But also there's the guidance if you want it. It will literally tell you on the map, highlight where you want to go if you really just want to focus on your objective. Yeah. And I
know the casino was I think first introduced in 3, but you can only bet on monster fights.
Maybe
they didn't have poker or anything, so I hope they expand.
And the other good thing for this, for lore enthusiast, they're cleaning up the story. They're not radically changing anything, but they're fleshing out a few things and making it feel a little bit more fulfilling and fleshed out.
Well, basically. The fact that he said too is hey, play 3, and then when you play 1 and 2, you might notice some things. That seems so cool about how they're just they're probably going to connect those 3 games really seamlessly, really nice.
I got a question in chat real quick. The battle system, before you input your actions, you see your party horizontally, you see the row of enemies horizontally, but when the actions actually play out, when you no longer have control, you've inputted everything, you say attack, go, it then goes to first person type perspective where you're seeing your attacks be dished out. So it's over the shoulder third person for the input selection, and then first person for the action part.
I do love in 8 though, and obviously later ones, seeing your character, seeing Yangus leap up in the air with an axe and slam down. I will miss that, but small little complaint in a sea of greatness. So
you see your 4 players or up to 4 players walking around the map at all times. As I said, if one of them's dead and you don't resurrect them, they're in the coffin, so you're dragging a coffin across the map. So
it's so expensive to revive. I hate that.
Yep. And good towns. I got to see 2 of them. Very nice jolly towns. Yeah.
My Dragon
When
Quest,
is that coming out?
November 14th, right?
My God, Go-Ty watch, dude. Holy cow.
My Dragon Quest experiences are fairly spotty, but I was there. This was not 3, but the original one was
NES, baby.
one of the first games to get me into RPGs.
Yeah.
There weren't many things before that. Legacy of the Ancients was there, but I think even when I played Legacy of the Ancients at first, I didn't know everything that was going on.
Yeah.
It was kind of after I had played Dragon Quest, and then I kind of went back to Legacy of the Ancients and okay, now I get this a little bit.
I had Final Fantasy on NES.
Yeah.
So
and then Final Fantasy was sort of the next big one after Dragon Quest.
So funny. I love it. Like, that's gonna be a thing of the past, Blood. We're old. It's just like the games we grew up with were just the ones we had access to.
Right.
And now it's just like every single franchise and game is almost at your fingertips, you know?
Right.
It's wild.
And then Dragon Quest 4, that I like missed 2 and 3, but 4 was like
DS?
no,
Just the original. Nice.
on NES.
Nice.
Like that was amazing.
Yeah.
And like
Oh my god, those DS ones are so sick.
like one of the top NES games, just period.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they weren't really getting released here forever, so I didn't play any of the ones until 8, and then played a ton of 9. So yeah.
9 was. I didn't like 9, like the creating like character thing, and
there was a lot of stuff there, like with
9 was
multiplayer
weird.
stuff and all that. But yeah, I dug it. Yeah.
Yeah. We always disagree on that one. God, they went from 9 to 10 also.
Yeah, 10 full on MMO.
God, so it was like from 8 to 11 was just like this unbearable wait for me. And then finally we got 11 and it was freaking amazing. Now it's like we're waiting for 12, but we got 3 HD to hold us over.
All right, here's a weird one. Metal Slug Attack Reloaded. This is a Metal Slug themed tower defense game.
Which is so badass. I had no idea this was just a mobile game before, Blood.
Released back in 2016.
That is insane.
It's like so long ago.
It looks cool to me.
Like I don't even know if that thing's still available on mobile, or has that been fully delisted? I don't know.
The easiest way to get me into something is give me a genre and a franchise I love and stick them together. I love Metal Slug. I love tower defense. I'm in.
Yeah.
It says
300 characters.
It's literally as easy as that.
Yeah. And this is on everything too. It's not just Switch. It's also on PC and PlayStation and Xbox. So get it where you want it.
Yeah. $10, right?
Maybe.
I think it's $10.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think you're right, but I don't have it in front of me. But
must-see modes for all Metal Slug fans.
And then the next one, also a bit of a weird one, the 100-line Last Defense Academy.
Oh, yeah.
From
Danganronpa.
the Danganronpa creators. And it's like a cute monster apocalypse, kind of.
My favorite comment in chat when we were reacting to this was that the main character looks like a character from DeviantArt like 10 years ago. It was just like such a specific but also spot on dig.
Right.
Like...
and I got a quote here. That basically sums up what this is all about. Quote, protect the school from mysterious enemies known as school invaders. For 100 days. As Takumi delve into the enigmatic truth of the school alongside 15 of his companions, each looking to reclaim their lost everyday lives. Explore the school, prepare for battles with your friends, and then engage the invading creatures in strategic RPG battles. Yeah. That guy's attacked with his motorcycle. There's a girl.
Yeah, I'm still behind on...
who's missing her lips and just has teeth on one side.
I'm still behind on Danganronpa, so
Sure.
that's still got old Danganronpa holds my attention a little more than this one, just because of the legacy, and I'm invested in Danganronpa. Like the first one's so sick.
Yeah.
But I mean, I like that they have like weird, cool tactical combat in this. That kind of shakes it up,
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Early 2025 for Last Defense Academy.
Yeah, I like the name.
Mm-hmm.
I do like that premise. You like
Unique,
defending your school for 100 days. It's cool.
Yeah. Next up, Romancing Saga 2, Revenge of the Seven. This whole series I'm completely lost on.
Yeah, I tried
I'm not into Saga,
playing
and then Romancing is like a whole other side branch of the series, right?
Yeah, I tried playing one game one time and like just couldn't really get into it. I tried the Emerald one, just like what was the most recent one?
Dude, that guy's got an Akatsuki
Emerald.
sleeve. Are you
Noticed that too.
kidding me right now?
Saga Emerald Beyond. I played the demo for Saga Emerald Beyond, and I was not really into it. And I don't know if these are all like the same. Like, I mean, it's a Saga
I think
series.
Romancing
but,
Saga
like,
is going to be different than that one.
Yeah, I think Romancing's different than like standard, but I tried playing one of the romancing ones, and I couldn't also get into it. But this actually didn't look this looked pretty interesting to me, at least. Like, I would, not say no to this, honestly, to try it out.
Yeah.
I don't know if I don't remember what the original one looked like, so this does look better. But they got this, they got Dragon Quest, and they got one other one coming out within this later this year. They have 3 big RPG, not big, but decent RPGs. Oh, Visions of Mana. That's also coming up, right? Yeah. So I would say this is
Visions of Mana is I think August or September. This is October 24th.
This is probably what I would be of the 3. This would be my odd one out. I'd rather try Visions, and then obviously I want to play Dragon Quest 3. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean I saw some comparisons that Square Enix is not they're not doing what they said. There's too many games coming out with too short of a time again. I'm like, nah, these definitely look way more have more budget and more, I don't know. These look better quality.
This is not
than
an
that
Oninaki or Harvestella.
Yes, this looks a little bit more effort went into these. Sorry to not trying to be disrespectful, but these do look higher caliber to me. All 3 of them than what some of those games were coming out at the end of 2022. That was not. Yeah, that was a little rough.
They say it's non-linear. Full remake with English voiceovers, original and rearranged compositions by Kenji Ito. Furious that mankind has forgotten their many sacrifices, the legendary 7 heroes have returned as villains bent on revenge.
Oh yeah, that was the thing. It's heroes. They're bad guys.
Select your main character from several protagonists, defend your empire in strategic battles, and experience a story that responds to your choices. Discover the definitive version in October. And then the last one that I got here, such a huge one. Marvel versus Capcom Fighting Collection.
Same.
Holy crap, dude.
Take this thing for a ride.
The reactions to this have been amazing.
Mm-hmm.
People have been wanting this for so long now.
So long, dude.
And to just bring all of these back.
Berserker Barrage incoming. Let's
one
go.
collection.
Not coming to Xbox. That's something
a
weird.
miss.
There's
That's
a little weird thing going
miss.
on about some Capcom games not coming to Xbox. There's this weird MT framework theory, but who knows if that's actually true. But the fact that this is happening after, I enjoy watching people play MVC and the Versus series games. I'm not really the biggest fan of playing them, honestly. But to see a community get a win like this is freaking phenomenal. But it's not just MVC 2.
No, it is
Hubert
not.
pointing out the other games, you being so excited for Punisher, it's dude, I want to play Punisher.
Punisher is in this collection for no reason.
Yeah, I love it.
For no reason, the Punisher.
Yeah.
And I'm the most excited for that one.
Yeah.
And it has games that have not been freed from their original platform ever. Chat's got me. X-Men vs Street Fighter was never released on consoles in North America. Thank you. That was the one. Is Children of the Atom in this?
Yes.
Dude, it's
it's insane.
Let me go through the list. You clear all.
Oh, is that
up.
the same one? Sorry, is X-Men vs Street Fighter called Children of the Atom?
No.
Okay.
X-Men
I thought they were
Children of the
separate.
Atom.
Okay, thank you.
X-Men Children of the Atom, Marvel Superheroes, Marvel vs. Capcom, Clash of Superheroes, Marvel vs. Capcom 2, New Age of Heroes, Marvel Superheroes vs. Street Fighter, X-Men vs. Street Fighter, and The Punisher.
The Punisher. No reason. For no reason whatsoever.
And The Punisher, they say, is never, it's the first time it's come to PC and modern consoles in the U.S.
Heck yeah.
100%. That game has been so hard to play
Yeah.
over the years. There's a Genesis version which is somewhat compromised.
Oh, yeah.
And
Definitely
that is
from the arcade.
Yeah, that is the one I had growing up. I remember we maybe emulated it at game trailers because I really wanted to play it for something. I feel like we streamed it or something.
I feel
weird.
like we might have had it on that Capcom arcade stick.
That might have been it. Yeah.
If it was on there.
For sure.
But not only do they have all this stuff, but they're giving this the full treatment. Listen to these bullet points, Hubert. They all have online ranked casual and lobby matches.
Incredible.
They have rollback netcode.
Incredible.
They have global high score leaderboards.
Awesome.
They have a training mode
Cool.
for all the fighting games.
Look at this.
They have a spectator mode,
Dude.
and then they've got the jukebox, museum, and display filters, all that stuff. Like,
What more could you ask for?
it's not just thrown together.
What more could you ask
Like,
for?
it's crazy.
And again, when you don't have access to so many of these games, anytime we get a collection like this for preservation purposes, that's also a huge win. Like, let's go. This is the feel-good announcement of the summer.
On that note, I don't know if they have any knowledge or something, but Wario64 is tweeting out this is now available to pre-order this physically. Highly suggesting you get physical copies of this over digital, but
Yeah,
not saying
Marvel,
why,
dude.
other than
Marvel.
like the history maybe. But
Yep.
like
So
Yeah.
many Marvel games
maybe
get old. You
strongly
look at-
consider getting
100%.
a physical version of this one.
100%, dude.
I did pre-order one. I pre-ordered one just in case someone needs a physical copy.
Hell yeah. It's a good move. It's a good move.
Yeah.
It's a great move.
Yeah, I think it's good.
Yep.
All right, everyone. As we said at the top of the show, Isla couldn't be here for the whole thing, but we can't
Thanks,
keep her
migraines.
from talking about Elden Ring.
Yeah, I was. Blood was like, sit it out, and I'm like, no, I'm calling in. I played this damn thing, and I'm gonna talk about it.
Yeah, and Heber, you've been playing.
Yeah.
I've been trying to catch up. I haven't gotten to where I can get to the DLC yet, but I've been playing the main game.
So
I
funny.
put 180 hours to this game, but I'm not to the point
Yeah.
where I can get to the DLC.
I think it's so funny that people are more concerned with catching up to the DLC than like finishing the original game. I think that's so interesting.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Well, I mean, for me, it's just for the sake of the podcast.
Yeah.
But
It's just such like an interesting place to be in.
Yep.
Well,
It's
public
like-
service announcement also. Like, if you're, like, I'm playing it on New Game Plus, I think. Which at first I was like, this is insane. But there are mechanics in place that actually made it work out totally fine. It's fine. No, I mean, to continue the humble brag, like, yeah, it's because I platinumed it and I didn't want to start over.
Yeah.
So, like, you have to beat it 3 times to get the platinum. But,
Yeah.
like,
That's probably a lot of people probably went for the platinum or
yeah. But public service announcement, you have to beat Radon and Moog. Because I went and I beat Moog, and I was like, nothing's happening. Where's the DLC? And you have to beat Radon Star Scourge also. So just know that, because there's no real indication of that.
No idea. I can't wait to boot up tomorrow and see where my save file is.
Yeah.
That's gonna be the first like surprise. It's like, oh boy,
Yeah.
how much work do we have to do?
nice.
Yeah, how do you want to do this?
I will say that if Elden Ring felt like the culmination of this entire genre, this really feels like the epilogue. It feels like, you know, Souls has been perfected by From Software over the years, you know, each iteration.
Yeah.
And then Elden Ring felt like the actual culmination of that with, you know, how open it was, all the mechanics, and just the freedom. You know, it gave you so much freedom more than the Souls games. And this just feels like, every time I'm playing it, it just feels like it's like perfection in a way. You know, they just got all the pacing, all the exploration, all the bosses and weapons. Like, it's all killer, no filler. There's discovery. There's just so much jam-packed in there, and because it's a DLC, it just has that extra focus. Because even Elden Ring proper, you know, you can wander for so long, and like
Yeah.
you can do that in here as well.
I just said that. Basically.
Yeah, you can do that in here as well, but it's like, because it is a DLC, it just has like that extra little bit of focus.
It's
You know,
so
this is It's almost a
layered.
2-year-old game. Yeah.
It's so
what?
layered. Also, like you said it's perfected, which is funny because, and I saw some other people talking about this. Apparently, there's some kind of jitter problems and stuff, and I was noticing it on PS5. Like, we've
Huge
been playing
patch
it
today
for,
as well.
Yeah, big patch. We've been playing it for like we got it 2 weeks ago, something like that. And
Yeah. But there was a bit of an event in the way there.
yeah, we got it. Literally, we were about to sit down to react to Key 3, to SGF, like the show, and Blood was like, "Oh, I just sent you and Hubert Erdtree," and I was like, "Huh?" I was like, "Blood, come on, man! Like, what are you talking about?" So that was a painful weekend to wait, but it's funny because like there were a few, and I'm sure they're like they ironed it all out, but like playing it a little early, I was like, okay, there's just a wall here that's like 2D, and like it's a little framey sometimes, but like I've noticed since the patches that it's gotten better already. But like one weird thing with these is like, and it's the DLC, so it's like very FromSoft, like, you know, they love their secrets. And this thing is chock full of weird shit that I've played every From game, like every Souls game, you know, and I'm like, I have no idea how to engage with whatever the hell this thing is. And like playing this, you know, we're playing it in a vacuum, like there's no one to talk to.
Yeah, there's no guide to look up.
There's nothing to, you can't look
where
anything
does
up.
this person teleport you after this conversation?
Exactly, you can't like, and I'm like, okay, well, if I do this, I just die. So that, there has to be more to it than that. Like, you know, it's pretty wild. I guess I should say that I'm at the end of it. I've got like 2 bosses, I think, left, and then it's over. And weirdly, there's one part of the map I can't figure out how to get to, and there's one chunk of the map, even though I've done it, I can't find how to get to where you get the piece of the map, even though I've done the entire area, except for where you get the map. But yeah, top right, Huber, I can't figure out how to get to. Like top right.
Okay.
Which I don't think you've done yet, because I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you've done it.
Nice.
Are there good caves?
Oh my God, Damiani.
A lot of chalice dungeons.
There, well, not even that many, but like there are chunks of this game or of this DLC where you go down and then you go down and then you go down and then you go down. Like it is the most vertical FromSoft thing that's ever happened. There are caves upon caves upon caves, my friend.
Oh boy.
Holy crap,
Yeah.
there are caves.
Just
Bring your
wondering if I'm
torch.
going to go into a cave again with a giant bear waiting to ambush me in the
Oh,
dark.
it's the best. God, I love that one.
Verticality.
Classic. I'm on regular new game because of my Souls history, so I knew, DLC's coming. I'm not going to advance to New Game Plus.
But
So I
you
just
beat the game, right? Yeah.
Yeah, beat the game, 100 hours.
Okay, yeah, I got
Yeah.
that confused because
Beat the main game, 100 hours,
Yeah.
you know, credits roll. Okay, see you when the DLC drops. So I'm pretty damn strong for this DLC.
Yeah.
Like I beat bosses in like 1 or 2 goes, like no problems at all, which is kind of awesome and also kind of like a little bit of a bummer. Because I'm way further now than when I sent you that photo, Isla. So I've been like clearing bosses.
Yeah.
Just with ruthless efficiency. But there's the other thing too, which will help. I think just everyone with like New Game Plus, wherever you're at, is the new currency. It's like these fragments you get.
Scad. I'm gonna choose to
Skadoo
pronounce
tree.
it Skadoo because saying
Skadoo.
Skadoo tree just sounds too stupid.
Yeah.
23 Skadoo tree fragments.
Yeah. So
There
these
aren't,
like
I don't know how many there are, but like whatever 23 Skadoo is, that's in my brain.
yeah.
It's like an
So
old
these-
song or something.
Yeah, these fragments will make you do more damage and take less damage.
Yeah.
In the DLC realm, it's the Shadow Realm. So when you find
Just
those,
there, yeah.
just there. So I think that really helps everyone wherever you are in
And it's-
Elden Ring.
I think it's brilliant, like game
really smart.
design, because because you know, like, yeah, similarly, New Game Plus. I think my character, I'm like level 214 or something. I was level
so funny.
198 when I came
Yeah.
in.
I'm like
And you said-
170,
Yeah,
180.
you said you were like pretty close to the same area on New Game Regular. So it's like I like basically like numerically can't get better. Basically,
Right.
like I get a weapon. I have found one weapon that was as good or better than the sword I was already using. So I started using that on my left hand too. You know.
I looked it up and thinking around like a 137 or something like that. On my
Okay.
character. Yeah,
But the Skadoo
Nice.
fragments make it they really, really feel like special when you find them.
So special. It's like, yes!
And they're tied into the story in an amazing way. So like it really feels awesome when you find them. And even if you can't like really level up and if you're not really gonna find new gear that's gonna blow your mind. Even though a lot of the new gear in this is really cool, it still gives you that thrill of discovery, which I think is smart of them.
I agree.
There's a sister Ash fragment as well that powers up your Ash summons as well.
Oh.
Yeah. One of my biggest complaints of past DLCs from are getting the new weapons, and it's like, well, my freaking heavy brick hammer is
gotta
like
go level
plus
this up.
25,
Yeah.
so what? Like, I'm not gonna try anything else.
Yeah, it's tricky.
They give you so many crafting materials in this.
Yeah.
They give you you're
nice.
killing trash mobs.
Okay.
They're dropping materials. So that also is amazing.
Heck
Like
yeah.
it feels, again, when I say culmination, it's just like they've been doing this for so long. Like this shit is ironed out to a degree that I have not seen in so long. It's like that's why I love Sekiro the most, because Sekiro is like one thing perfected and it has just a hyper focus. And I feel like this DLC has brought some of that focus in, like the core mission of like following in the footsteps and there's so much focus, but also so much room to discover. It's like this perfect balance.
Yeah, one thing that I think they added for this that applies even in the main game is the new tab.
Oh my god, yeah. It's so
when
useful.
you pick things up, it shows the most recent thing you picked up.
Clutch.
Even if it's something that you have like
nice.
50 of,
Yeah.
it'll still move it in the list. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, you got one of these. It's like,
very
so
nice.
if you missed that little message while you're like running away from
Chopping
something,
away,
you just
yeah.
grabbed it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it marks things with a little exclamation point. You have to another PSA. You have to go and
have to
turn that feature on.
Yes.
It's not on by
Yes.
default, which it should be. But yeah, this area is so. As Huber was saying, it feels like Elden Ring, like streamlined and intensified. I was really worried at first coming in on New Game whatever. That I was like doing myself a disservice, but like the first boss I tried, I had to try a few times, and then kind of similarly to Huber, there have been some bosses where I just like rolled it first try, and then a few where it's like the standard experience of like try it 5 or 6 times, and right now I've got 2 or 3 bosses where I'm just like not brick walled, but like
this
pretty
is crazy.
stuck. I'm like this is a hard guy. Okay,
Even for
like,
me, I was like, confident a minute ago when I was like, I'm like kind of steamrolling on just regular New Game, but like there have been a couple optional fights that I've stumbled into, and like my damage is insane. My strength is maxed 99, like
Oh my
heavy
God.
brick hammer. Yeah, it is nuts. Dude, I like stun lock big ass bosses. It's amazing. But there have been
That's so
some
funny.
optional bosses where I'll go up to and I'm like wailing away, and I'm like, dude, I'm like barely doing any damage on this thing. What is going on? So like, there still are some insane things.
I
sure.
have Dex 60, int 73 or 72, I think. So I use Dex int weapons. But I don't block, don't have any armor, like I'm not wearing anything basically, and so I'm like a glass cannon where it's like and my jump attack is my main thing, so I kind of jump and then
style.
get the hell out, but like there are a lot of like normal enemies in this that'll kill me in 1 or 2 hits. Like there's a lot of obviously some of the like it's been weird. It's sort of Demon Souls-esque where it's like, or Dark Souls 2-esque where it's like some of the hardest things I've encountered in this are regular enemies, or like, big, like super enemies, but like not bosses. Like some of the bosses have been easier than that one guy with the big sword on the bridge, Also, it's just like, it feels like they really are having fun. They're remixing themselves like they always do, I won't spoil anything specifically, but like there are some definite areas where it's like, I've been here before, sort of, and like some little tricks where it's like, I remember when we did that in Dark Souls, like in a fun way, in a good way, but also they're using like new colors in the color palette. Like there's a place that you come over a ridge and it's just this blast of a color that Elden Ring hasn't really used so far, and it's gorgeous, and it's just so nice. This DLC is really something else, and I'm really looking forward to more people playing it so I could figure out all these weird little mysteries that I'm like, this is something. Like, what do I do with this thing? Like, how do I do this? Like,
I can't even believe it's a DLC,
It's crazy.
Truly, like,
I do
better
think,
than
though,
most video games.
Oh, yeah.
90% of them.
I do think, though, that it is a fair criticism that you have to go through this whole journey just to get to it. Like, I think that, like...
But you wouldn't want to just start this DLC. That's why it's so weird to me. Like,
also,
you wouldn't want to just jump into this.
It's, I think, appropriately, like, skill gating, or, like, it's making sure your character is strong enough to do the DLC. Because, like, if you got into this DLC and if you got into this DLC as a level whatever 10 character, it would suck. Like, you would just get rocked. Like, I'm level 214 and there are things that one shot.
We've had games that have solved this before, you know, like.
This is par for the course in
it's
Souls,
par for the course.
And I have
every
no
Souls,
sympathy for any human.
Every Souls DLC has been this way.
Yeah,
But
every single one.
So you've sold your PS4. Now you've bought it on Xbox.
I hope you uploaded your save to the cloud.
But you're not going to be able to do that. Like,
I mean, there's of course.
That's what I'm
there's
saying.
Like weird.
You should be able to just hop into the chapter, you know, and have, you know.
That's not how this game
is an
works.
option for you.
Yeah, it's not how this game works.
You know,
Blood.
This is a game where even difficulty options are nuclear discussions.
Yeah,
like,
I don't know.
Blood, let me put it to you this way.
Time, like,
let me put it to you this way. Like, the area to access the DLC is optional in the first place.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
it's hidden behind something that's hidden. Like, these, you know, FromSoft is just like a weird ass company.
Mm-hmm.
They're just gonna do
agree.
their thing their way, and that's just, I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
I did wonder, Huber, though, because you did the preview event.
Yeah.
How was fighting those bosses that you fought at the preview event? I mean, obviously, you knew how they worked a little bit, but like now with your own character.
I had my hammer. Much easier. Much easier. Yes.
Who did you fight in the preview? Rihanna and
The just the first two main ones.
I mean, that you can go any number of directions, but I guess
The
those
first
would be
like
kind
big
of
one on the left, and then the big one on the right.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So like the first like big main two bosses.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm curious to see what another Souls like would even look like from at this point.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because again, I truly feel like this has cranked the formula all the way to the max. I truly don't understand. Yeah, I don't understand. Like, do you scale it back and go like down to the Demon Souls level again, or I don't know, because this feels like kind of the like I really am treating this like an epilogue to the entire genre, because even with how, you know, how fun it is and how excited I am, like, because I've been playing so many of these, like, I feel it's still just like a little less exciting than it was, you know, when I played Dark Souls 1 or Dark Souls 3 or Bloodborne even, you know. There's just like I have expectations and I know what to expect, even if they do like mess with me a little bit. I expect that they're going to mess with me, so it's like so hard for them to surprise me in this genre. So I wonder what.
Well, and especially like when you're saying like Sekiro is a super focused version of the formula, right? Whereas with this, it's like, yeah, like you can go melee, you know, you can go huge
many
strength,
options.
you can go dex, you can have, you know, the spell focus, multiple spell focuses. You can have your little party of summons behind you, like all kinds of different things. The weapon arts.
Yeah, you
Like-
could play this game for 10 years. Seriously. I will say I have one criticism from the main game and the DLC ever. I literally, because Elden Ring is almost a perfect game. I have one criticism though. I think crafting could be better.
Oh yeah.
It feels bloated. It lacks impact. Picking up resources it doesn't really
I
feel good. I craft some
never-
things here and there, but it's super
I almost
unnecessary.
never use crafted items.
Yeah,
in Elden Ring.
exactly.
Main game
Exactly.
or this, like
Basically,
agree.
never use
I agree.
items at all myself.
no, never. Like if it says
if they-
consumable, I just pretend it doesn't exist. It's like
I wish they could have streamlined that even more to make that like if crafting sung in this game, it would be
It's funny though because part of me is like, is that because they're useless or is it because it's the classic like, well, I better save all my elixirs till I need them, you know, like that
Yeah.
syndrome. Because like,
But
there's one item that is like, this is good for fighting these things, and you're having trouble fighting these things. Why don't you craft some of these and use them to fight these things? And I like made one of them, and I was like, I can only make like 8 of these. Like if I screw up and lose 8 times, that's it. Like they don't help me
Yeah.
that much, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
definitely
even
with
hoarding,
some-
even hoarding resources for like 100 hours, I'll go into my crafting and it'll be like, oh yeah, like Isla said, I can only make like 5 of these, but I've been hoarding for 100 hours. Like what?
But you also get to a point where you just like stop picking up things.
Yeah.
Because there's stuff all over the
Yeah,
freaking
yeah,
place.
yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But no, I was like one of the things for me is like the fire bombs and stink bombs and poison bombs, and I'm like, maybe once in a while I'll think to use those, but most of the time I'm not. Like, and that's another thing too. Like archery stuff, I've never gotten into in any Souls game.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
There
you
are-
use a bow when you absolutely have to.
There are a few moments in this without getting specific where like, you have to like maybe craft a thing to do a thing that you need to make something happen. You know, like they do kind of play with it a little, in a cool way, but yeah, it's kind of the exception to the rule because you're so right. Like crafting is
Yeah.
just kind of whatever.
It's kind of just there. It's not like harmful to the game, but
No.
when we're talking about one of the best games ever made,
Right.
if that crafting was like a little more meaningful.
Well,
I
and
think-
like even
also
with
think
like
it would be annoying,
strengthening
though.
weapons.
Yeah.
Even with strengthening weapons, it's like maybe like a few things for the high level of like moving a weapon up to like the next tier, but it would be kind of cool if it was more of like if you just use the weapon a lot, like the mana series, it's like use the weapon a lot and it's gonna get better the more that you use it.
like a proficiency
A
type
little
thing.
bit, but-
that would be interesting.
That
that would
said,
maybe-
though, like
yeah.
I think it would harm the game. Like it would be like
Yeah.
like if I had to like prep a bunch of oils like in The Witcher or something before fighting
Yeah,
anything,
F
like
that.
I would be so annoyed. Like
Yeah.
that's not what Souls games
No.
from games anyway are really. It's like I made my build and I like it and like I don't
Yeah.
need anything else, you know?
Yeah.
And I'll take that.
It just feels
over.
like wasted space
Yeah,
and like
yeah.
wasted mechanics for me.
I will say there are a lot of cookbooks you can find in this DLC.
I know, and I got so excited when I found the first couple, and then I was like, oh, I don't even need
Yeah,
this.
they're all, and then I look at them and I'm like, yeah, okay,
Yeah.
don't need that.
Yeah. But really good variety, really good weapon variety, really good enemy variety, really good location variety.
Yeah, really good areas.
All just perfectly mixed like a mad scientist. Dude.
I will
Just
say,
perfection.
I will definitely say that it is more confusing to access areas, and I don't even know if this is a criticism or not because like maybe they're building in for like the zeitgeist in this regard, but it's like I said, like I've been playing this and I've been trying for like a few hours now to get into this one area, and I've wandered around, I've gone through crypts, I don't know how to get up there, and
Gotta be a secret wall or something.
right, and like I think it's partly why I got a migraine today because I was just like, how do I get up there? And I like been staring at the map and I like didn't blink for like 20 minutes.
But yeah, that's the thing though. Like even with the main game, there's a lot of those spots. Like even where kind of by Liurna or whatever, that big plateau.
Yeah.
That you go under, and it's like, how do I get on top of this? And it's like,
Yeah.
well, you teleport from someplace completely different.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's got to be something.
Which is
like
how
that.
you get to
Yeah.
Mog's area, like Mogwin
Yeah.
Palace in the first place. Like it's a secret area behind a secret area.
Yeah.
It's three secrets to get to the DLC.
So insane.
From Soft, never
so
change.
insane. Yeah. It's so good.
Psychos.
Yeah.
Dude,
I love
Huber,
that.
there's some stuff like obviously we're not going to talk about here, but like
Yeah.
there's some stuff I'm so excited for you. Like there was an area that I like knew he hadn't gotten to yet, that I wanted to like dark root basin him and like run up to him and be like, dark root basin, dude. And then like a couple days later, he just texted me the name of the place like in all caps, and I was like, there it is. There it is.
Nice.
Yep. Some really cool environments. So
It's
just leave it at that.
crazy. Yeah, and it plays with the format a little. It's cool. Like
Yeah.
all in all, this DLC is incredible. Like, you know, like nothing is perfect in gaming except Outer Wilds, and like this DLC I think is just the culmination of Elden Ring. It's like the perfect cap for like I don't think we're gonna review it or anything, but like I would give it top marks for sure.
Yeah,
like
for
it
sure.
is insane how detailed and dense. Like, you know, Miyazaki threw around that it's like the same size as Limgrave, and he refused to say how many hours it would take to beat it because he famously said that Elden Ring, the base game, would take 30 hours. Like, clearly he doesn't know what he's talking about in that regard. And it's like, this thing is way bigger than Limgrave. Like,
Yeah, this thing's
maybe
huge.
like on the map, technically, it's even that I think it's bigger than Limgrave, just like thinking of the maps in my head. But like, it's so densely packed and so vertical, and there's so much in it that it's at least 2 or 3, if not 4 times bigger than Limgrave, easy.
I want to play right now.
I've got it on right there. Like, yeah, I mean, it's funny because I could talk about this for hours, but without getting spoilery, like I don't know how much else we could really say.
Yeah, no more.
Obviously, it's great. Go get it.
Good weapons, good bosses.
Yeah, if you're on New Game Plus, whatever, don't really worry. You'll struggle at first. Go get Erdtree fragments. You'll be fine. I'm on New Game Plus, and I'm okay. So, like, that was overblown before it came out. Everyone's like, don't do it. And it's like, it's fine.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
Nice. Thank you, Isla, for joining us.
Yeah, I'm going to go lay down.
Cover your eyes.
10 out of 10.
Thank you. Next up, we've got our patrons' top 10 box arts.
Nice.
Oh man.
So we have in our Discord for our patron Discord every month, they do these top 10s. This is actually from last month. They're already on this month. We'll get to the end of that after the list. But everyone for this one was limited to 5 submissions. They got 93 total nominations.
Whoa.
Jeez.
So all over the board. Unless otherwise specified, the nominations are the North American Standard Editions. But there are no, unless specified. So if I just say Castlevania, and then it's the North American version. But if I say the Castlevania Japanese box art,
Got it.
that'll be in there.
Resident Evil 2 US
Right,
versus Europe.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So some of those are in here.
Yeah.
But yeah. So, and as tends to be the case in the Discord, there's a lot of ties. So even though it's the top 10, because of the ties, we got like 15.
Great.
So the 10 spot, I think, is 6 things got tied. First at number 10 was Castlevania.
Castlevania.
Don's got him backwards, unfortunately.
Oh, I gotta.
Hang on.
It's okay. Just go ahead.
The one with
keep
the
talking.
gray.
Well, we have to look at it. That's the only thing. So we'll get it. We'll get it there.
It's like the gray box with like Simon with the whip and
Hell
everything,
yeah.
and like looking up at the
If you sort them
castle.
by file
with
name, they should be in order because I
Dracula's head in the sky, like it's so. Yeah, it's menacing,
Yeah,
man.
it's so menacing.
There we go. Dracula. We got
looks
the
like a
whip
nut.
coming like way up into the beginning.
Oh
Like
yeah.
Yeah, the whip is like
Oh,
on
yeah.
right
Yeah.
there.
That's a good one.
You feel like that thing is about to just launch forward.
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah, so good.
The official Nintendo seal of quality also is like the ultimate feels.
And just even like this subtle thing that like I don't even think I noticed before, but like the image like coming down from the logo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's pretty sick.
Oh, I must have like someone. I don't know if this is official or not, but the actual image without like the gray frame around it, Dracula's head is like actually like a bat. I know I might not be able to see it like
Dope.
that thing, but like yeah, it's like he's got like the bat wings,
Hell yeah.
to the side of him, and it's just freaking sick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next is also at number 10, Chrono Trigger,
Chrono Trigger.
Ooh.
This is a box
Get in
art.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
let's-
love this.
That box art is telling a story.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know these 3 characters, like a lot about them just by looking at this.
yeah.
Wild.
And you've got them like all dressed in the snow.
Mm-hmm.
You've got them doing the dual attack with the fire on the sword.
Yeah. Holy
Like
sh-
mid action,
Jeez.
the monster is breaking out of the frame. Like, yeah, it's super good.
Wow.
Yeah, I like it. I think this is one maybe I saw it so much, but the Japanese box for me because it had the whole ensemble cast and like the logo was like bigger, but like that action art still pretty sick. Yeah.
I mean, all of these illustrations that they did for Chrono Trigger are just top tier. I love every one of them. Next at number 10, Final Fantasy VII.
Classic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looking up at that Shinra HQ.
Hell yeah.
I mean, this is one where I like this one more than the Japanese one because the Japanese one's just the logo against white.
True,
it looks like
true.
but this
Buster Sword front and center.
iconic.
Buster Sword, dude. Buster Sword.
All of the number 10s were 20 votes, by the way. The next number 10 is Gravity Rush / Gravity Days.
Nice.
Yep.
That Japanese box art.
Cat sitting on
Oh
the side. It's so
man.
sick.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah.
I love that game.
Now I feel sad.
Sam,
I
yeah,
have to
thanks,
replay
chat.
this.
Now we all feel sad.
We were just talking about it, but also number 10, Marvel vs. Capcom Clash of Superheroes, the Japanese Dreamcast box.
I respect that
Look at
heavily.
this.
Nice.
Yeah, look at this roster on each side.
Yeah, and like they're all like those profiles, and like Marvel is all looking to the right,
Yeah.
So
Capcom's all
good.
looking to the left.
Is Jill in Marvel vs. Capcom 1? I know she's in 2.
I'll look it up for you.
I don't know.
Marvel
But look down.
I think
Is
so.
that roll down
Capcom
at the
1.
bottom? She's actually looking at the camera. There's just hilarious little
That's
detail. Everyone else is looking
hilarious.
straight at their opponents. And she's like, hey.
No, she is not.
Got it. So no snub. So we will allow it. Awesome.
Also, last one at number 10, Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
Oh my god, this is one of my all-time favorites, dude.
They even then the movie
Fuck.
the movie poster paying
God.
tribute to it was so sick too.
Dude, look, I used to freaking just hold this box lovingly and stare at it. Oh my
It
goodness.
made me jealous.
Oh,
Seeing it in my brother's room, I was like, "What? What is this sick box art?
so sick.
I'm gonna play this game. I'm gonna try playing Sega."
Hell yeah. Edgy, dude.
So with all those ties, our next one is 6th place. And our first at 6th place, Symphony of the Night. This is the Japanese
Crisp.
PlayStation version. But yeah, this key art is all over.
It's so crisp.
Yeah, it's so nice.
Yeah.
There's so much detail in it.
I wish it didn't say action game on the bottom,
Yeah.
but
Oh, well, that's just
Whatever.
one version, I think. Some in the original, I think the packaging has like those like folding
God.
parts.
Oh,
Yeah.
so
I
that
think
probably folds
yeah, I think,
underneath.
yeah.
Great.
yeah.
Nice.
I think it's either that or it's red. I forget which one it is.
Chill. Yeah.
But there's something else
insane.
that can cover it up, I think.
Yeah.
What a beautiful game.
I've seen it in person, that's why. And it's like I remember it being red, like a thing.
Symphony of the Night belongs in a museum.
I believe it is in one. 6th place as well, Final Fantasy VI. We have to zoom in on this. We got different sizes from the chat. So this is not as high quality, perhaps, but
Oh yeah.
this is the
Oh,
Amano
yeah.
art for this one.
Oh yeah.
And Damiani, like you're saying, like a lot of times the Final Fantasy ones will just be the logo, and for this one to have the full illustration with Terra / Tina on the Magitech armor.
Now remember, this is the 6. You know, JP got this art for the box and subsequent. But here in North America,
We got Mog.
we got that different box art.
I was so hyped for that game. I love that.
What is
box,
even
too.
in the background in that? I like always forget what that image is supposed to be.
It's one of the other monsters. It's like their shadow.
I
Yeah.
was like, what is it?
They did a lot of weird stuff with the art, with the
Yeah.
advertisements and stuff for that game.
Yep, they did.
Yeah. Also, number 6, Eco, the PAL version here.
Yeah, cool box.
And yeah, this is just such a striking,
Eco?
crazy image here.
Yeah.
And just like the
What is it?
long shadows.
Eco! Yes. I was trying to think of like Echo or something.
I hope when a movie comes out, inevitably, or a show, that the poster is like this.
Yeah. But it just feels like like not quite, but like kind of like evoking a sense of like MC Escher or something, just
Yeah.
the way it is.
Yeah.
And your character's just being so small in the frame too. It's like
Yeah.
communicating that big world that you're about to experience.
I say movie or show because my friend pitched Eco to Sony because it was on the list of games they wanted treatments for.
Got it.
Yes.
And then the last number 6, Super Metroid, the Japanese box,
Oh.
which is one that I did not know
That
about
is
till
so
way
sick.
Yeah.
Man, that's sick.
Because it's the full version of the cropped what we got in North America, like with different coloring too.
Yeah, I
And
don't
like
even know.
the so North America, it takes the
We didn't
Samus
quite
part,
get
right?
this, but yeah.
Well, it's Samus and it is the Ridley art, but like Ridley is recolored, and in the canon's doing like a different shot, and then you have like all this awesome stuff in the background that's just not even there in the North American box art.
Yeah, and
So-
you can't really see it. It's so dark, but there is in the very top behind Kraid, there is a Metroid, like just in the shadows.
Dude,
Metroid
this
lurking
so
in the
sick.
shadows.
Dude, Kraid, what a menace!
Yeah,
It's like a technodrome, like Godzilla
Yeah,
hybrid.
yeah.
That's what it looks like.
yeah. So those were all 22 votes. Now moving on to 5th place, Pokemon Red,
But
the iconic watercolor.
just
Yeah.
Charizard.
Yeah.
I respect it. I admire its purity.
That was
I'm
20.
surprised I went for that one instead of the Japanese one because Charizard's like shooting up the flame like vertically.
Right.
It's a reverse. Actually, Japan had the angry one for once. We had like the nice Pokemon.
That was 23 votes, so just edging them out. 24 votes, 4th place, Metal Gear Solid 2 Substance.
Sick.
Oh, heck yeah.
So clean.
Yeah.
All art, dude. Look at this.
That's good.
God, Snake looks.
That's good.
That is one of the best renditions of Snake I've seen ever. Looks so good there. Holy crap.
Get some skateboarding in.
Skateboarding. 3rd place, 25 votes. These are just single differences. Super Mario Brothers 3. Again, that iconic yellow.
It is iconic.
Standing out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't argue this one.
Yeah.
The freaking tail, flying. Mario just flying.
I've always, I mean, it's like, okay, for iconic sense, yes. I guess I like the artwork on the Japanese box a little bit more, but because it's like more interesting. But this is like for being recognizable. Absolutely, this. Yeah.
Yeah. And just the lines on the logo and everything. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then we get a jump. 29 votes. 2nd place, Doom.
Doom. Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, of course.
Yep.
Of course.
Yep. Thank you. Patrons, you're the best. Patrons, you are the best.
Standing up there.
Fucking
We're just clapping
legendary.
for you.
Oh my god.
Blasting demons.
Oh my god. Yes.
We got another one. Like
It's
this guy in the
so
front just
good.
looking at camera and like, hey, what are you looking at?
It's so good. That freaking box art is so sick. I like it. Yeah, I like it way more than 2. 2 is him fighting the cyber demon. This is just, this is so good.
One of the craziest things to me with the Doom is just that logo. Just
Yeah.
the crazy detail in that logo.
Yeah.
The best
Yeah.
logo. It looks so good.
Yeah.
What a pick.
Jeez.
And then before we reveal it, any thoughts on what number 1 could be?
Shenmue.
Oh, that'd be nice.
I'm just kidding. Probably not.
Number 1.
Wait.
34 votes.
Wait. Best box art, dude. Is it a JRPG?
It is.
Of course it is. It's Dragon Quest VIII.
It's not.
I don't know.
Damian, you want to guess before we move?
It's a JRPG. So it's like Final Fantasy something.
Yeah, it could be Final Fantasy. I mean, I hope it's something like more obscure. That'd be sick. But what is it?
It is not more obscure. It is Kingdom Hearts.
Of course. The obscure Kingdom Hearts series.
Fantastic.
But yeah,
art.
that's some peak
It
right
is.
there.
It is. Look at it, just the mood.
It's so peak.
Look at that mood. Oh my God. Sora standing
Inspired
there.
a generation of like DeviantArt, and Live Journal, and
Donald and Goofy looking up lovingly, dude. Oh my God. Sora Riku back to back, dude. Get out of here.
the mid 2000s generation.
Oh.
There you go.
Dude, the moon is a heart. It's
Yeah.
just epic, dude. It is so epic. Dude, Kingdom Hearts 4 Game Awards
Oh, sure.
will reveal itself. Let's go.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the list that big, I don't think we can go through everything. There's 93 on that
Yeah, that's a
list.
lot. That's
yeah,
Dang.
it's fantastic.
Were there any like weird collector's editions? I was always very partial to the Final Fantasy 12 collector's edition box. It's a steel book. It's so simple and clean. No pun intended.
Dude, what 13 people voted for Mega Man 1.
That's
It's one of the worst box arts
Yes.
ever. Come on.
That's
Trolling.
amazing. Were there? So like when I was hoping for like more obscure stuff, like
Oh, is Resident Evil 1 on there?
No, not the Resident Evil. That's a good
Original,
one.
dude. The guy.
But that weird, not weird, but the rare, not rare, the less
I
known
see two.
version of Resident Evil 4. The one like it's just the red background with
red
the forest
background,
with the
yeah.
chainsaw dude
Yeah,
with
it's
the
intense.
shadow cast.
It's
What version
intense.
was that? Which version was that?
I don't know.
I
There's
think it
a
was
Resident
European.
Evil 3 Wii PAL version that has me very curious, but I don't have the
PAL
image, so I don't
That's
know
hilarious.
which one they were talking about specifically.
Awesome.
Oh, any of the GTAs get on there?
I think so. It's again,
those
it's
are
such
so
a
good.
dense list that it's hard to.
Okay, no, that's all right. We don't have to check.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Just Grand Theft Auto 3 was at
Nice.
23rd place with 17
Great
votes.
box art.
Nice.
Incredible. What place?
23rd.
Nice. Fair. Really
Yeah.
good. Really good.
Yeah, a lot of those were just so close anyways, like 19, 18, 17 votes. Yeah.
Yeah. Kingdom Hearts and Doom, dude. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You won, patrons. You won.
You won.
This round is a clear and decisive victory.
So yeah, become a patron, get in that Discord right now. Nominations are open for this month's, which is the top 10 trains.
Top 10 trains?
Trains?
Trains.
Choo
Okay.
choo.
You got Metro Exodus. You got Assassin's Creed Syndicate. You got Phantom Hour Spirit Tracks. You got Spirit Tracks.
Well, you got the Phantom train that gets suplexed in Final Fantasy VI.
All right. Trains. That's sick.
Yeah.
Wait, Bayonetta's train weapon.
Bayonetta
in Bayonetta
3.
3.
Yeah. There was
Yeah.
a train in Fortnite. Red
Yep,
Dead
I
2,
wrote on
you
it.
can rob the train.
Wait, they took the train out already in Fortnite? It's gone?
I haven't seen it running in a while. I feel like the station is there, but the train is
No,
gone.
the train's there. It was
It's
one.
still
It was
there?
during the Korra Avatar stuff. Was one of the weeklies.
New
was
season
right
now,
around on
Damiani,
it.
New season.
It might be gone now,
It might
but
be gone. I haven't
haven't
seen it.
jumped in since Mad Max stuff dropped. So
I haven't
Okay.
seen it.
All right.
Good
We've
list.
got more to come. But if you've been enjoying the show so far, please take a second to like and subscribe and ring that bell on YouTube. If you're on the podcast apps, leave some reviews over there. And tell your friends, all that good stuff. It helps us and it helps you stay connected. And now, a word from our sponsors.
Selling a little or a lot, Shopify helps you do your thing, however you cha-ching. Shopify is the global commerce platform that helps you sell at every step of your business. From the launch your own online shop stage to the first real life store stage, all the way to the "did we just hit 1 million orders" stage, Shopify is there to help you grow. Whether you're selling scented soap or offering outdoor outfits, Shopify helps you sell everywhere. From their all-in-one e-commerce platform to their in-person POS system, wherever and whatever you're selling, Shopify has got you covered. Shopify helps you turn browsers into buyers with the internet's best converting checkout, 36% better on average compared to other leading commerce platforms. And sell more with less effort thanks to Shopify Magic, your AI-powered all-star. What I like about Shopify is that it's there to grow with you. It'll be there every step of the way. You know, whether you're selling like one thing, like band merch or something, you know, like one that your aunt buys or something, and then, not speaking from experience, you know, or if you're selling out stadiums, they're gonna be there to help you, you know, sell your merch. Shopify powers 10% of all e-commerce in the United States, and Shopify is the global force behind Allbirds, Rothy's, and Brooklinen, and millions of other entrepreneurs of every size across 175 countries. Plus, Shopify's award-winning help is there to support your success every step of the way, because businesses that grow, grow with Shopify. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/allies, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/allies now to grow your business no matter what stage you're in. shopify.com/allies. Shopify.com/allies. Check it out.
And if you are a patron of Easy Allies, thank you.
From patreon.com/easyallies.
I think they understood. All right. Thrown in here. These will go by quicker than Nintendo for sure. But Limited Run had their annual event today. Still calling it an E3 event. Still following up on this crazy timeline where they went last year. They went back in time to save E3, and then this year the future refused to change. These are always tricky, and I'm kind of glad that we're not like live reacting to them because they're so confusing to like watch in the moment because it's so hard to tell when they're actually announcing something that we didn't know about at all versus when they're just doing a physical version of something that's already out.
Yeah.
And then especially because like a lot of the stuff they handle are like retro things. It's just like, wait, what's new here? And like even
what's new, what's news? Blood?
Even some of these I might not have correct because it's a little tricky to just to sort out because they will like literally like the press release is actually wrong. Legitimately incorrect press release. It says the following game announcements are set to arrive in physical form only. And on this list, there's Star Wars Dark Forces, which is already downloadable, Beyond Good and Evil 20th Anniversary Edition, which has pre-orders for digital versions, Wolfenstein the New Colossus, which you can obviously download, G.I. Joe, Penny's Big Breakaway, which is on my Steam account right now. Like, it's like they're missing context of like, these are things that we're making physical versions for. Obviously, they're not the publisher, but I don't know. It's very confusing the way they present things.
Yeah.
Even 2/3 of the way into the direct, he says, some of these games have been announced. Others are all new exciting announcements. Enjoy. Doesn't specify which or which.
Oh, no.
That's funny.
Oh, so anyways. And then the other thing that's kind of confusing about Limited Run is like a lot of their dates are not release dates. They're dates that when you can go on and pre-order the thing.
Oh.
Got it.
So, yeah.
Sweet.
So anyways, so I'm not going to go over everything, but I'm going to go over some things that I thought would catch everybody here's attention, or at least certain people's attention. Now, Heber can talk about the Fighting Force collection.
Force. It's actually running at a smooth frame rate. Remember when Isla and I tried to play this recently, and it was running at like 4 FPS? Yeah, you can watch that stream. It's somewhere.
Nice.
This is a solid beat 'em up. The visuals have that like chunky PS1 style, you know, who nobody loves those visuals more than Bossman.
This is a PS2 game, right?
PS1.
Really?
Yes, Fighting Force was PS1. Fighting Force 2 I had on Dreamcast.
Okay.
It is not a beat 'em up, and it is in my top 50 disappointments of my entire life.
Ooh.
I swear to you.
Okay.
It's like an adventure third-person adventure game where you're just Hawk. There was
Okay.
like no co-op. You're fighting in like a semi beat 'em up style, but it is not like Fighting Force 2. Such a disappointment. Don't even get
It
me
is
started.
fighting without the force.
Yeah. But
You're lacking the force.
yeah, Fighting Force 1 though is one of my all-time favorites. It's less it's lower on my list than like, Double Dragon, Streets of Rage, Final Fight, Turtles. It's below those, but I still put it up really highly for beat 'em ups. It was kind of the fact that it like at the time it looked insane because I grew up on beat 'em ups on NES and Genesis and Super Nintendo. So this full on 3D beat 'em up with these big characters. I mean, I cannot stress enough how good this looked to me when I was a kid.
And they said something about it. It was almost became Streets of Rage 4. Do you know that backstory?
I used to. I remember
Okay.
there was something weird there. I forget though, but that sounds familiar, Blood, for sure. But yeah, just a cool game. Again, 2 like killed it for me. I remember getting that game on Dreamcast expecting one thing, and it just was not the thing I expected, and
Right.
I was just like, this isn't great. So it'll be fun to, I guess, kind of revisit that game. I do hold a grudge against Fighting Force 2, honestly. But I'm really glad that that's coming.
Yeah. This was an interesting story for me, Huber. Wolfenstein 2 is a new Colossus for Switch. Now, what's interesting about this is this game did have a physical version.
I have it.
Yeah, but here's the thing. They said the original release requires a 9 gigabyte download to get all of the levels. The end of the campaign, you have to download.
Interesting.
So Limited Run is basically republishing their own version that has the entire thing
Everything.
on the Switch cartridge.
Nice.
So full package.
Very nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
neat little thing.
Yeah.
Next up,
Really good
Assault
games.
Suit Lanos 2 Saturn Tribute.
What?
What?
Yeah, this
I'm
is
with you. What?
yeah, this is a Saturn game that is the first time it's being released in the West, and it's like a side-scrolling mech game. So it's pretty cool. And this is also coming to PS4 and PS5 as well as the Switch.
Side-scrolling Max. Sign me up.
But yeah, so it's like, zipping around and blasting things, and I think we've lost it.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
A lot of moving parts here for Don.
Yeah, sorry, Don.
Just 50 games.
But again, the fact that it's a Saturn game and it hasn't been released in the U.S. It's
Very cool.
It's pretty cool that they're doing that.
Yeah.
I don't know much about the Saturn library. A lot of people swear by it, and
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I think a lot of it is just games that didn't come out here,
Totally.
and that's cool to get another one here.
Absolutely. Anytime you can re-release a game that sells for hundreds of dollars on the third-party market, I say good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I say good.
But yeah, Beyond Good and Evil 20th Anniversary Edition is next year.
Nice.
This is wild, dude. This game has leaked multiple times. So the announcement is really funny. So
20th anniversary.
it was originally on an ESRB thing. It popped up. Then remember sometime last year or a couple months ago, somewhere in there, people were downloading it. It actually popped up and people were downloading it and playing it,
So
and then
funny.
Ubisoft pulled it.
That's so funny.
And then today, again, before the limited run showcase, tweet or something went out from the official Ubisoft account early. They spoiled their own.
Oh my gosh. Beyond Good and Evil.
Yeah.
Cursed franchise, it seems.
This does have a reorchestrated soundtrack, quote unquote, up to 4K 60 frames per second, depending on your platform. Coming out next week, June 25th.
Whoa.
On basically all platforms. And then Damiani pointed this out.
Here we go.
There's a new mission that links to Beyond Good and Evil 2.
No fucking way.
Yeah.
I respect
Refuse.
it. No, I respect that.
I refuse to believe it.
I refuse to believe 2 is ever coming out, but I love that they're doing that here. That is so cool.
It's like just trying to get you to buy the damn game, man. Come on. Like, go away.
Yeah, here's the quote. Finally, this special edition will feature Hunt, in which players can discover more about Jade's past and collect exclusive cosmetic rewards.
Cool.
This exclusive new mission also reveals more about the narrative link to Beyond Good and Evil 2, showing Ubisoft's enduring commitment to the franchise.
I love it. That's cool.
Why wasn't at their event then, Ubisoft?
Yeah, I mean, fair
Why don't
point.
you talk about this instead of a Prince of Persia Santa time with a
Yeah.
date?
Totally.
This would have been more than what you did there.
Yeah.
For that.
I don't know. It's wild. It's wild to me that they would even bring up Beyond Good and Evil 2.
Yeah. It has a pulse, that means.
I guess so.
It truly
I
has a
guess it
pulse.
does.
It lives. It's on the operating table, but it's got a heartbeat.
Another beat 'em up, Huber. I don't know if you know anything about this. Toxic Crusaders beat 'em up. You know?
Heard that name.
Yeah, well,
Fucking Toxic Avenger.
Well, Toxic Crusaders was the cartoon
The
show in
cartoon.
the 90s
Yeah,
based on
yeah,
Toxic
yeah.
Avenger. Yeah. So I think this is a new game.
Dude,
Yeah.
sign me the hell up, bro. Sign me up.
Yeah.
Toxic Avenger is one of the most disturbing movies ever. It's also really bad, but
Yeah. The cartoon
Really
I think
intense.
fared better, and this is definitely
Yeah.
like way,
yeah,
like-
the movie is like insanely like NC-17 levels of gore and graphic
Ugh.
violence.
Lloyd
I'm-
Kaufman.
What up?
Lloyd Kaufman classic, right?
Is it? Is
Yeah, I
it?
believe so, isn't it?
Yeah, that sounds right, Don. Yeah, they like put someone in a washing machine and it's crazy. It's insane.
Yeah, that art, that's definitely from the cartoon.
Cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's wild to bring that back.
Yeah.
Um,
Cool. Dude, I want to play that. It looked good.
Yeah, it does.
When's that one out?
I don't have it down.
And it's brand new. Has it been out?
I think it's new. I think
Dude.
that's a new one.
Cool. Sign me up. Sign me up.
Next, Hubert, freaking Fear Effect,
Yeah.
bringing that back.
I dabbled with Fear
show.
Effect back in the day. I never finished it, but it was one of
Oh,
those like
this.
rental games and neighbor kid games. You know, never got very far, but played it.
Yeah, and they're bringing this to PC, PS4, PS5, and Switch.
Nice. Sick, dude. Very sick. Yeah, I want to play Fear Effect.
Yeah. This is one that I was definitely hoping Isla would chime in
Yeah.
because all about that Fear Effect.
Mm-hmm.
Cell shaded graphics on PS1.
Yeah, it looks so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do not know what the temperature gauge is on this, but Lollipop Chainsaw Repop.
I hate the original.
You do?
I don't hate a lot of games, dude. That original was like a 5. I do not like it. I think I'm in the minority there. Played it once, finished it when it came out. I was like, that was whatever. I just didn't like the combat.
Yeah.
Didn't like the story. Just wasn't feeling it. Could have been just me at the time, you know. It was an old game. I was maybe in college or like a teenager at the time. So I should give it another go, but I wanted to like it way more than I did. I was like, this game's kind of rough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forget when this came out in relation to Mad World, but like
Dude, Mad World
'cause
rips.
Mad World was like awesome,
Mad
and I
World
was like,
rips.
yeah, this seems
Shadows
like
of the
a
Damned rips, like that whole
gimmick
era.
that's a product of its time.
Yeah, yeah. I was never into this game, but cool. Maybe I'll give it another shot.
They also were teasing another Grasshopper thing that did seem to be related to the Shadows of the Damned remaster. So it sounds like Limited Run's probably going to be doing the physical version for that as well. This one I believe we've seen before. This is Devil Shake. So they've got some new footage of this. This was I think in like last year's Limited Run or for something else. But this is a new original platformer, but it looks like a blend between like Klonoa and Mischief Makers.
Yeah.
So it's got kind of like the bendy worlds,
Oh yeah.
where you kind of like circle. It's like kind of 2D, but also 3D at the same time. Towards
These are the types
Yeah.
of platformers I do not like
right. Yeah.
because it's the equivalent of isometric to me.
Okay.
So the perspective, not doing it for you.
Yeah, not a fan of it.
Got it.
That's why in Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze and Returns, when they have those parts,
Yeah.
like the rocket barrel, I hate that crap. Can't judge anything.
Yeah,
right.
just the distance you have a hard time with.
Yep.
Yeah. But they have some like neat ideas in here and just like crazy stuff. Like they had like a bunch of they had this shot with a bunch of giraffes riding on rockets, like platforming across the rockets and stuff. But yeah, coming soon. Don't know when, but Switch, Steam, PS4, PS5. This was last year's tease, but they showed us some footage now. Gex Trilogy.
Yes.
Sure.
Why are you snorting?
I just think of Bossman with Gex.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Is Bossman a big Gex fan?
I feel like he used to troll Gex. Didn't he, chat? I don't know. Gex is weird, but I think that this is cool. Like, again, Gex was a moment in time.
Yeah.
It had an impact on this era of video games. And I think anytime you can bring this into the modern era, like, do it, Will Gex make a comeback or a return in 2025? Who knows? But, like, Gex was big then, Gex was a thing.
Yeah.
Recognized, like a household name practically.
I remember the ads and the standees. It was not something that I had ever had a chance to play. I didn't know anyone that had it. But
Cool.
yeah, pre-orders open fall 2024.
Yeah, the whole trilogy.
When is the game out? I don't know.
Trilogy.
I do not know if you know anything about this. Ninja 5.0. Do you remember Ninja 5.0?
Nope.
Okay. Yeah, maybe skip ahead a little bit because they do a lot of cutscenes. They do like every letter.
Looks badass.
But yeah,
Yo,
older side-scrolling ninja game.
looks sick.
Some wall grapples and
The
stuff going
hell,
on there.
dude?
Yeah, like
What?
getting guy. I think that's like a train.
Where was I, dude, when this was out? What was this on originally?
I
looks
I want to
so
say it was
sick.
Genesis, but I don't know for sure what was on.
Dude, I have shame. I have shame. This is on Genesis and I missed it. Crazy.
Konami.
Dude.
I could be wrong on that. Maybe it was Super Nintendo. But
Then I would have missed it. Yeah, I didn't have Super Nintendo till way late.
chat, if you know when Ninja 5.0 is out, let us know, and Damiani can watch the chat.
It's all about access. Yo, is this Clock Tower?
Clock Tower is back.
Yeah.
Clock Tower Rewind.
GBA. Was it
They're putting
GBA
some like
game?
extra cutscenes and stuff in here too.
Sweet.
I think so.
Game Boy Advance.
Game Boy Advance
Game
was
Boy,
Ninja 5.0.
that explains why I
GBA,
missed it.
yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got
Wow. Crazy. Clock Tower 1 is like super rough. I like the PlayStation 1. Again, I don't have as much experience with the whole franchise as
Yeah.
I do
Well, the
with
original
other
one didn't
survival
come out
wars.
here in the beginning, right? Like that was the
Yeah.
weird thing where it's like our Clock Tower 1 was actually like Clock
Yeah.
Tower 2 or whatever.
Yeah, there is something weird there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the original's like kind of point and clicky.
Yeah.
The original
Well, and also
original.
like more of a side scrolling.
Yeah. So I just played the PS1 one.
Guy with the giant scissors. though.
Yeah. Scissor Man. Very cool. This is great. I want to play the original like this so badly. I'm so in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'll be interesting, and
It's gonna be
especially
hard.
like
It's gonna be cryptic and difficult for sure.
with the like they originally they had like a cursor like with the D-pad.
Yeah.
So I'm curious like with if they do a Steam release, like if that'll be smoothed out like full on real mouse controls.
Yeah.
But
Clock Tower Rewind, dude. Fall, good time. October, hit it.
Toomba.
Tomba.
Remember Toomba?
I do.
Yeah. So they got the Toomba Special Edition. And how do you describe this game, Huber? Because it's like it's 3D but also 2D at the same time as well. Because you've got sprites, but then you've got all these 3D backgrounds.
Yeah. I would start by saying it's a platformer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's like a 2D,
You're like a
3D
caveman dude with pink hair.
platformer. Yeah. I never got into him.
Yeah. And then they also they announced that they're doing not only Tomba 1, which they had announced previously, but Tomba 2.
Fantastic, dude.
Coming
all
up.
these old franchises are just
Yep.
here they are. This is amazing.
And then
Like, think about that, you know? Gex, Toomba, Clock Tower, like, hell yeah, dude.
yeah. Well, here the final reveal.
Yeah.
This is weird. This is super weird. So basically they repeated what they did last year. They do this stuff with the GoldenEye font and everything, and it looks like Bond coming out. And last year it was Gex. This year it's Bubsy.
Bubsy.
So they're doing Bubsy the Perfect
Bubsy,
Collection.
Gex, Toomba. Wow, dude. Everyone's back. Everything returns.
Yeah.
Everything returns.
I don't know what the full extent of that collection is because there are several different Bubsy games.
Cool.
But yeah. There we go. Some highlights. Some rapid fire,
Yeah, good highlights, Blood.
but
Good highlights.
limited run games.
Really essential to preserve these classics. Like, even if those games haven't aged well or they have been kind of like memed a little bit, or, you know, those franchises still had such a big impact on the industry at the time. You know, they were big. You know, I mean, there's way less competition back then, but like those are some of the franchises that were like
Yeah.
rising to the top. Like, you know.
Yeah. Also, shout out to Don again for keeping up with all that.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard.
Hell yeah.
Going through these things quickly and with like just within the context of everything there. But Don, it's your turn now
Yes.
because you got to play that demo for Metal Slug Tactics.
Yes. Played through it a couple times. Blood, Metal Slug Tactics.
What's the
Finally,
verdict, dude?
All good so far.
Yes.
You were all very promising. yes.
Perfect.
So we've been waiting for this. You know, we all know beloved franchise, SNK, iconic pillar of SNK from the late 90s and early 2000s, Metal Slug, the franchise, side-scrolling run and gun kind of platforming game. Now it's being brought to this tactical RPG that we all saw, almost a couple of years ago probably, and we've been waiting through a couple delays.
Yeah.
It looks like it's finally landing later this year at some time. We don't have a hard date, but later this year. And the demo so far was super fun. First of all, look at this right here. Look at the coziest barracks
that's
in
your
the
base.
history. In the history of time, the coziest little hub area.
There's a SNK machine down in the
Yes,
corner.
Blood. Yes,
There's so much to see
Oh,
in this
God.
shot.
Obsessed.
It is so sick. So this is where you pick your loadouts, your soldiers, you unlock new weapons and upgrades. Here you see Tarma, classic, my favorite character. Got rid of the eye patch in this version though. Classic art, you know, the art in this game is just so good. It's just absolutely just iconic. I don't know how else you can say it. And the translation to this top-down kind of like isometric view is excellent. It's perfect. Here you're seeing lots of loadouts and unlockables.
Love that.
Yeah. So it's a tactical RPG, and it has, but it also has other features to it. So basically, you start off here, you see, and you get an overworld map. Each map represents a different region from the game. So these are sort of the desert region, some of the early levels, Metal Slug 1 and 2. And you get this overworld view with each mission has different objectives, different rewards. Now you get the same kind of missions, but each time you enter this region, they're kind of mixed up differently. So you get a random assortment of what levels are available on your overworld map. Now it has roguelite elements to it, Huber, and this is what makes it really fun and really replayable from what I got to experience in the demo. It basically starts off, each region is like you have to fight your way through the whole region, and everything you have stays consistent. Everything you lose stays consistent from the beginning of the level till the boss arrives, which is a different number of turns. So I think the first region he arrives after like 4 turns. So you pick your different stages that you're trying to complete. And then at some point, if you fail a stage, you get to keep going, but you lose any resources you lost. You gain any resources you gained. But when the boss arrives, if you lose to the boss, you're out and it's done, and you have to restart the whole region. Just game over. So it's hard. It's tough, right? So now it's just excellent tactical RPG. You know, you have an action and a move within each turn, within each one of your character's turns, and
do they have the announcer done?
They have the announcer. The announcer's
Clutch.
there. All of the elements of Metal Slug are there in 100% authenticity, so it feels so good. And this overworld, you know, the way you fight again on this isometric view tactical RPG is very satisfying. It actually made me daydream a little bit about what this would be like as a fast kind of run and gun action shooter, but from this view, you know, where you could rotate around the camera. I think they would serve it well for other genres too, thinking of it that way. But in this case, it works great. There's this syncing up of your players that's really important, where basically the positioning of your different units, if you position them in a way that you can basically combo off of each other, you know, similar to other tactical RPGs, where basically if you're going to hit with one of your primary weapons, if you have your other units lined up in a coordinated fashion, that they can also combo in what they called sync attacks. And so that's very important. You've got a primary weapon and a more powerful secondary weapon. You have the actual metal slugs. The tanks are available. They become available in certain positions on the field. Super powerful if you jump in one of those. And they sort of they run off of fuel, so they have a limited amount of fuel, and that designates how many different weapons you're able to use and how many times you're going to be able to use them.
Nice.
And so here you see a metal slug drop down right there. And it looks like you're going to be able to purchase this as a resource that you can deploy later in the game. You can't do it in the demo. In the demo, they just appear on certain maps.
Sick.
But later on, you're going to be able to acquire these yourself and deploy them. It's great replayability. It's great challenge. It's a nice time frame. You know, each one of these missions is anywhere from about, 7 or 8 minutes to up to maybe 20, 22 minutes. And then you got to be, like I said, in this first region, about 4 stages plus the boss. So it's a nice little, 40 to hour length, at least initially, game loop, I think, that you go through, which is quite satisfying. And I liked it a lot. Again, I think there's high replayability. All of the elements of Metal Slug are there intact. It was fun. There's all kinds of stage hazards that you can activate.
Yeah.
There's like a basket of vipers. You can, if you activate them, then any opponents that go near the vipers then will get a strike for the next turn. There's cranes. You can drop packages on people. Here you see the boss right now.
What carries over for the roguelite stuff, Don? Like when you fully wipe out.
Yeah, so you lose all when you fully wipe when you wipe with your boss, you lose everything basically except a couple passive perks that you keep.
Yeah.
But your special abilities that you acquire, you have to recollect those again from the beginning of the region. Now, I don't know how it's going to work when you go beyond that first region, you complete the first region, but for the demo purposes, you pretty much lose everything essentially except for your passive perks.
Even the gold? You lose all your gold?
No, you keep your gold. You keep your coins.
Essential.
Yes.
There it is.
You keep your coins.
Very nice. Very nice.
So it seems like a perfect balance from what I've experienced of it so far.
Sick.
Looks fun. It plays fun. It sounds good. It's pretty much, I guess, everything we're pretty much hoping for when we saw that early gameplay. It seems like it's coming through. And it's kind of neat. It was hard to see on that, but the stages sort of, as they progress, like new sections of the stage just drop into play. And then in most cases, the old sections, you can't go back too far, but sometimes they leave them. Just the variety of missions is really neat too. It's anything from like escort missions to like certain number of your guys need to escape alive to like you need to survive a certain number of rounds to like you need to assassinate certain targets, so it's just a nice mix up of objectives on each of the stages and stuff as well. So
hell yeah, dude. And there's a fall release date. It lives. It's coming.
Yes, and they haven't given it specific, but they say this fall, so they're still tuning it up right now. And I
Heck
guess this demo is available for everyone, I believe, right, Blood? This is on Steam now.
I don't know if it's still available because a lot of the Next Fest stuff got pulled, except that was one of the funny things that happened with I Am Your Beast. It was like, he was planning to pull it because they need to focus on finishing the game, and they're like, no, don't do that, because you were 16th. You're one of the most popular demos, and so they're like, I guess the standard of thinking is like, as long as people are still wishlisting that thing,
keep it going.
keep that demo up there. Yeah. So
And Red Sky reporting the demo is still live on Steam, so it's
Nice.
great
Nice.
news. Get in there and grab it and check it out. The demo is really satisfying too. It's like an extremely replayable demo, which is
Hell
nice,
yeah.
So
So exciting, Don.
yeah, looking forward to this one. Big time, massive hype for this coming down later this year.
nice.
I feel like a new mainline Metal Slug is right around the corner with all this
I
Metal
know
Slug
there's
hype, you know?
so much Metal
yeah.
Slug.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, because I'm doing 2 spin-offs right now, at least in terms of like what they're publishing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. I got to play a preview demo of a game called Nikoderiko. We talked about this a little bit during our nightly impressions from Summer Game Fest. First of all, I got like a briefing from, they announced this new publisher, Knight's Peak, and all these different games they're doing. And Nikoderiko is one of those that they showed that kind of sparked my interest because it has some pretty nice art design.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's doing everything or just some of the music, but David Wise
Jeez.
is going to be doing some music here. And it is very much legally distinct from Donkey Kong Country. If you like those games, that's exactly what you're looking at here. I don't really know anything too much about what the story is going on, but side-scrolling platforming with just like really big, bouncy.
I'm so mad you didn't collect that, dude. Is
visuals
this
and
you
stuff.
playing?
Yeah, this is
I'm
me. I'm still trying to figure it
so
out.
mad right now.
We'll get
I'm
there.
so
We'll get
mad
there.
about it.
We'll get there.
Oh my gosh. Bounce on the enemy to get that.
Yeah, but I'm still getting the feel of the
All right,
controls.
all right,
here.
all right,
So
all
I'm
right,
fine. I see. I'm waiting.
Now I want
I'm waiting
Hubert
now.
to be in an event showing off the games, and like instead of being friendly and helpful, like it's like,
only-
no, you missed that. I'm not like that would
Only
be
when-
amazing.
only when Bloodworth
have someone
plays.
actually like talking to you like
Only
that.
when
Be a
Bloodworth
nice
plays.
change.
A veteran gamer, Bloodworth.
There it is.
There
You
it
got
is.
it here. So you can bounce on guys, or you can also slide into them. And then yeah. So rather than like a devil jump, you have a glide.
Nice.
So and then look, you've even got the letters.
Oh my gosh,
The
that is
Donkey
legally
Kong
distinct.
letters.
Oh my god.
Instead of Kong, you have
my-
Nico.
I don't even think that's legally distinct.
Yeah, that is just
but that's not all. Does it changes perspective? Doesn't it become Crash Bandicoot at one point?
It's a little
Were
bit
those
forward.
bananas? Were those bananas?
No,
it looked like
definitely not bananas. But see, we have these nice little hidden areas here.
Jeez.
We do. Like I don't know if we want to skip because I don't have a time
No worries.
to
We
show
can wait
you.
for it.
But they also have they have the animal buddies. Here's
Wow.
Yeah.
and they have the behind the cam view like Crash Bandicoot. But the thing I was talking about there, but we'll talk about the buddies first. So like we got this Toad guy here who shoots little fireballs. And then not in this clip, but in another level, there's there's like a dinosaur who's like doesn't look like Yoshi, but kind of basically, but like has a little bit of Yoshi-ness to them.
Yoshi Light.
Because you can eat enemies and spit them at other enemies with that guy.
Of course.
And then there was the last animal buddy that I got was like a boar. And he can just like run through enemies. And then maybe this will be, yes, here we go. The Donkey Kong Country like bonus levels.
Hilarious.
So you go into a little bonus room and it's like, okay, like find the key or defeat all the enemies or collect all the stars.
This looks sick.
Yeah, like it's like
Felt good?
yeah, like I think it's like controls wise, it's like not top tier, but good, you know.
Yeah.
Like
Not top
Not,
tier.
but
But I'm like-
Nintendo levels.
that's
is
what I'm
what
saying.
that
It's like
means.
it's not like
Nintendo.
it's not like actual Donkey Kong Country
Yeah.
or Mario Brothers Wonder or something, but it's still pretty good.
Important. Pretty important.
Can't all be Nintendo.
Another funny thing we got to show. Don, scroll back just a little bit. The very end of the level. They do the exact same this exact same thing from Donkey Kong, where you go up and instead of a barrel, you get this thing and you mash the button.
This is just straight up Donkey Kong.
Exactly the same.
Hey,
Yeah.
come on.
Cool.
You got to step up that Donkey Kong Country Returns HD effort, man.
Yeah.
Nico Bellic,
hit up
dude.
that
Gunning for ya.
the next clip too, just to show a little bit more. But yeah, so like 3 levels I got to go through. The one was that one we just saw, which was like a jungle, waterfalls kind of area. And then the second one was like more of like a ruins. And so you had like these little sleeping statue platforms that these guys, the timing on this was like tuned to totally screw with your head. Because there is so many times where I'm like, okay, now I'm going to jump. And like, nope, I just missed the jump. You really have to like pay attention to the timing to get across certain gaps, especially like later on.
Yeah.
And then the third level that they had in there, which they even in the guide, they were like, no, the third level is meant to be difficult. Just so you know, it's supposed to be hard. It's a snowy area with this airship in the background that's like blasting at you, and so you get the little markers where the bombs are gonna land.
Yeah.
And so you've got to do a lot of dodging the bombs and stuff like that.
Wall platforming and that stuff.
And like the stuff that they show with the ice there, and that one point, there's parts where you like kind of have to like go down and like let the bombs break the ice so you can go down a level. But then when you go down the level, the bomb pattern changes. So you really like got to stay on your toes to get through that section.
Looks
and
really
then
promising, dude.
What's that?
It looks really promising.
Yeah. And then there is another spot in this level where you're like swimming a bit, and there, rather than worrying about like running out of breath, it's because you're in the ice stage. You're like you start freezing up.
Ooh.
So you gotta like hop out of the
nice.
water for a second, and
Find some fire.
yeah. So
That's
you
a cool effect.
see it there a little bit.
Yeah.
The little criticisms I have so far is that I think, in general, enemy behavior could be a little better. Like it feels like just like a lot of guys are just kind of like walking or swimming towards you and don't do a whole lot. And then there was one particular moment when I had there are these enemies where like one guy was moving left and the other guy was moving right, and they just sort of walk through each other when you would think they would like
Collide and
bounce off of each other and go
like
the other ways or something. Yeah.
Nice.
But again, like just super early.
Yeah.
We'll see when they get through it there, and it's like again visually and music wise and everything like that stuff is pretty
Music
solid.
wise.
Yeah. And
Pun intended.
I do think the one thing that separates it is that transition for when they go from the side scrolling to the behind or forward camera.
Yeah, that's sweet.
And that feels really smooth when
Nice.
that happens too.
Cool.
So it's not like you like hit another like a door or something like that. It's like no, you walk here and then now you move forward. So good stuff. Thank you, Don, for manning the controls.
No problemo. Trying to keep up.
Also this week, bad news first. Got a few different shutdowns. Some layoffs, all that stuff. Embracer. Embracer's back. They shut down the Alone in the Dark developer, Pieces Interactive, which
Saw this coming. This is so depressing.
Yeah,
I beat that game fucking twice, dude. That is a good 7. That is a good 7.
Yep. Pieces began back in 2007. They were acquired by Embracer in 2017. They made several original games, including Puzzlegeddon, but a lot of their work went into content for Magicka and Titan Quest.
Great games.
Yeah.
Those are great games.
They weren't like the lead developers, but they like helped work on
Titan
expansions
Quest
and
was
stuff.
so sick.
So it kind of sounds like Alone in the Dark was just like them like either getting the opportunity or being pushed to do something that was not necessarily in their wheelhouse from the past. So it's annoying that, again, it's like, okay, here's your first shot at it.
Yeah.
And then, it didn't pay off.
Yeah.
So too bad, when they could have learned all of those lessons and made a better sequel.
Exactly. Yeah.
And they didn't actually say that that's why they were shut down. So you could assume that, but I also think that you could assume the other thing that has been with Embracer that is like, oh, you just shipped a game, so it's going to be 3 to 4 years before you bring us any money. So bye. We need to turn a profit, and you're not going to be the ones delivering that profit anytime soon.
Barf.
Also, they spent a lot of money on that game.
It
As
was
you
high
very
budget.
well know.
It's absolutely high budget. Absolutely.
Getting those actors and everything
Getting
that
those
they probably did
actors.
not need.
No, all the pre-release shenanigans, of course.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they shifted that release date over and over and over, which I do not think
Yeah.
helped. Because it was like, oh, it's coming out in August. Oh, it's coming out in October. Oh, now it's next year. And so I think by the time it actually came out, like,
Yeah.
a lot of
Yeah.
people that weren't like super invested were just like, okay, whatever.
Was it this year?
Yeah,
it
it was this year.
Like February or something?
February, I think.
Yeah.
February, March, somewhere in there.
Yeah. I wonder if it would have fared better in October.
Maybe. But, yeah.
People like
Last year
horror
was
games.
pretty crowded.
People
It was
like
pretty
horror
crowded
games
last
though in
year.
October. Even if October has like a Mario game or something, it's like, dude, horror
did.
always finds.
Yeah. But I also feel
A
like
spot.
it's
Also had Call of Duty in October.
Ah, yes.
But
yes.
it's the difficult thing there is, though, I think it shows that sometimes you just kind of have to pick a date and stick with it, because they shifted and they shifted and they shifted, and like even when it came out was not light. There were huge games that people were into, Helldivers and Pal World and everything, like, so.
Yeah.
There's always going to be some competition.
Tough.
So, Wizard with the Gun devs, Galvanic Games, unfortunately, is also closing their doors as they were not able to secure funding for future projects. They had good conversations at GDC and DICE and all that, but they said that the process to get through to signing would have taken longer than they have the money to keep going, unfortunately. And then a surprising one, after several delays for its early access launch, Life by You, which would have been like a potential Sims competitor, was canceled.
Jeez.
It was going to be early access this month. They just full on canceled it. And then the day after, they said that the studio developing it, Paradox Tectonic, is being shut down, which affects 24 team members. Paradox CEO Matthias Lilja, I don't know how to say it, sorry, said that, quote, "For each delay we made, we've seen incremental improvements, which in hindsight may well have led us to focus on details rather than the whole picture. Once we took that pause to get a wider view of the game, it became clear to us that the road leading to a release that we felt confident about was far too long and uncertain." So, yeah.
Oh man, so disappointing on that one. Yeah, I was so curious.
Damn.
I mean, I don't think anyone had seen like the ambition of what they were trying to pull off. You were just so curious to see how are they going to put this all together. So disappointed we're never going to get a glimpse at it
Yeah.
in action.
Yeah, it sounds like, again, they just weren't clear on where their scope was and realized it's like they were losing money in other things, not bringing in enough, and then like not sure, like, yeah, when will this thing be ready? Where are we going with it? So
Yeah.
that just feels like that's how game dev goes sometimes. You try to make a cool thing and it's not working out, and financial hard times come up, and it just happens.
Yeah.
3 very different stories, but
Jeez.
sad for all those shutdowns for sure. In lighter news, Yacht Club Games also had a showcase.
I saw this.
Yeah. A few different announcements, including like an ultimate version of Shovel Knight.
Culmination.
Shovel of Hope DX.
The culmination.
20 new playable characters. Online multiplayer, rewind and save states.
All the
cheats.
DLC, right?
Yeah.
Everything. Just the whole kitchen sink, dude. One nice, clean package.
Yeah.
Hell yes.
They also teased that they are working on a new Shovel Knight game. That
Yacht Club has their shit together.
sounds like it's going to be 3D.
Yeah.
They mentioned clues scattered. This is weird. They mentioned that they have clues scattered throughout many of their previous games if you're the type who likes
Whoa.
to dig.
Jeez. Oh, is Kratos in this?
I don't know, but
Is
I would
Kratos
imagine
in
that
this?
he
I
is.
need to
I
know.
would think that he would be, but
That's my
I don't
number
know.
one question, Blood.
Yeah.
Let us know. If you know. Mm-hmm. If anyone knows.
Yeah. Sea of Thieves was the most downloaded PS5 game in May.
Wow.
It's pretty wild.
It is.
Xbox brings that over and like number one PS5 game right there.
Jeez.
Play this. Holy crap. Huber, Saber Interactive is publishing a game based on A Quiet Place.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, I did see this.
Yeah,
Where
yeah.
they're in the store or whatever, and they go outside, and they're like messing with the little latch on the door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, do you know who's making it though?
No.
The Remothered devs.
Okay. The first Remothered was a borderline 7. The second one I heard was even worse. I admittedly did not play the second one, but the first one was already rough, and I heard the second one was worse.
Okay.
So that's concerning. I hope you would. I was hoping you were going to say some of the old Alien Isolation devs. That would have been incredible. Because that's what this has the potential to be like.
Yeah.
Nowhere near that level of quality, probably, but you never know. But yeah, definitely Alien Isolation vibes where you're probably going to be sneaking through environments, solving puzzles, and completing objectives in stealth, in silence.
Yeah, the audio design in this is going to be crazy. I'm so curious what it's
Yeah.
going to be like.
Also, this trailer is like not gameplay, right? Just the animations. It's like maybe an engine, maybe, but I don't think this is doctored.
I'm not 100% sure.
No way. I
Yeah.
don't believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
PlayStation, PC, and Xbox, quote, experienced the journey of a young woman struggling to endure not only the nightmarish creatures of the apocalypse, but also the anguish of interpersonal family conflicts and her own inner fears.
Classic Quiet Place action. Cool.
Even a single noise can give you away. Yeah, my main thing with this, audio design, checkpointing.
Yeah.
You better have good checkpoints so I'm not slow walking through the same thing five times.
I mean, Alien Isolation, to me, no joke, is one of the greatest games ever made. PC Gamer Game of the Year, never forget. And that, too, had, manual saves. You needed to get up to a save spot and save, and if the alien got you and you died, do it over. So it's definitely a choice. I think if the game is good enough, then that doesn't bother me. You know what I mean? I talk about that all the time with Dark Souls and shit, where it's or Sekiro, if I die on a boss 10 times, it's like, yo, this game is good enough for me to keep trying. But if it's Dolmen and I'm dying 10 times on something, maybe I'll hang it up, and I've got my fill here. I'll hang it up. So if A Quiet Place earns that difficulty and warrants it, then I think it'll be sick. Because it's do you just do auto checkpoints? But then that releases some of the tension, the tension of Alien Isolation was yo, I haven't saved in 10 minutes. I need to find one,
Right.
But it's in the other way, and I heard the alien over there. I'm just going to keep going. I love that stuff.
I am very curious if anybody else remembers this, but Captain Blood is back.
Captain Bloodworth.
Do you remember Captain Blood?
No,
Huber.
no.
Damiani, do you remember Captain Blood?
Nope.
No.
Don, do you remember Captain
I
Blood?
Well,
do not.
Okay.
Showing it, yes.
Okay.
This is
hell is
old
this?
as shit.
Yes, it is.
though.
What is this?
Yes, it is. The last time that this game was previewed was back in 2010,
Previewed
Okay, this
and I did those previews
for this exact
This
game,
for
is-
this exact game.
and it's still not out.
this is like game trailers days.
Yes. Oh, yeah. 1C was the publisher back then. They would
I'm
bring
confused.
Siberian vodka around every time.
I'm
No,
confused.
Sturmovik. Oh my gosh.
I'm confused, Blood. Did this game ever come out?
No, this thing has been caught in a publishing nightmare for the last, well, who knows how long it was in a nightmare, and then it just probably got shelved. But yeah, it's been sitting around all this time. finally getting released.
That's fun, dude. Play a freaking 15-year-old new game. You know, talk about a window into the past.
right.
Cool.
Yeah.
It looks very like 360 era for sure.
Exactly.
Yeah,
it totally does. Even at the time, it did not look top tier. It absolutely did not.
Cool. Very cool.
This is Sneg, who I've never heard of. Sneg Ltd, a publishing studio that aims to preserve forgotten titles. Reveals today that Captain Blood will be released on PC, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, and Switch later this year. And yeah, hack and slash pirate adventure, kind of similar to the original God of War trilogy.
Yeah.
I think that's what they were going
Okay.
for.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see it.
I don't know if it's good. It probably isn't good.
But what a curiosity,
yeah.
you know? What a curio. Yeah.
We will see.
Sign me up.
Captain Blood this fall. And then Huber, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Splintered Fate.
Can you remind
got a
me?
release date.
Can you remind me for the fourth time, dude? Which is the phone one? Which is the
this is a phone one, but it is the better one.
the phone one is the better one.
Yeah.
Is this the roguelite one?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Roguelite, 4-player beat 'em up.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what was the other one? Is the other one out already?
The other one I think that you're thinking of is out. I think that Outright is working on a separate one as well. So there's a few of them
I know.
flying around.
I'm like getting all my Turtles games mixed up,
Yeah.
chat. That's how confusing the shit is. Yeah, I'm so excited for this. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Like I cannot wait to play this with everyone. This is gonna be so fun.
Yeah. Just seeing look like Shredder with a bunch of samurai dudes around him.
Dude.
Yeah.
Super pumped.
Yeah. It is good stuff. Whoa, that chain thing.
Yeah, that was sick, dude. Some butcher vibes.
Yeah.
Wait, when's the date here?
July 17th.
Coming right up.
Yeah.
Sick.
Remember it for next week. Summer
Yes.
game preview.
Yes.
All right. It's time for Love and Respect. Love and Respect.
Respect.
From Rachel Simlin. Hey allies, I wanted to take a moment and thank you all for the countless videos, discussions, streams, and amazing vibes you bring to the gaming community. My husband started watching your videos and listening to the podcast back in 2018 when his love for video games re-sparked. He now listens to the podcast every week, watches just about every review, and truly loves your reaction videos. Also, a quick shout out to Mysterious Monsters. As huge trivia fans, we love watching those productions.
Oh, thank you so much.
In honor of his 30th birthday this weekend,
Yeah.
I was hoping to ask you a relatively niche question. My husband is quite the collector of games, owning a whopping 1,380 titles.
Have you seen King of Collectibles
Wow.
Season 2, Episode 1? Check it out. It's on Netflix. They go to a person's house that has a game collection that is insane. Very fun to watch. Check it out. King of Collectibles Season 2, Episode 1.
Some of that is from his goal of owning every N64 game. I think Mikey Dowling's doing that too, right?
Wow. Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah.
He is currently about halfway there. And spoiler alert, he will be getting more on his birthday. Now, my question to you all is, if you could physically own every game for one console, which console would that be and why? Happy birthday, Connell.
Man. Does it have to be a console or could it be like a peripheral for a console?
I mean, it's platform,
The
sure.
newer, you want to,
I'm not sure what you're thinking of, so you might as well just
Well,
say it.
Bandai Satellaview. I wish I could have
sure.
all those original
Yeah.
broadcasts like as they were, not restored or anything, but just have it and like have the original broadcast so I could just broadcast it to myself and then I'd broadcast to everyone else so everyone else could play it. That'd be like freaking amazing. I know a lot of people would want like Japanese Saturn or something like that.
You know, my answer is Damiani.
What?
Every arcade cabinet
Oh my gosh.
ever.
It's a good
All
answer.
of them.
You would need to own like
Is
the
that a
Mall of
console?
America or
Yeah.
something.
Count it, dude. Count it. I want every cabinet ever made.
Oh my god.
All right.
And I would just have a giant warehouse, and I would be like Walt Disney in the 1950s and just leave it open for people to come and enjoy.
Pinball or pinball tables as well? Or
Pinball,
just
that
arcade
escalates
cabinets?
things for sure. That escalates. You'd need a
Okay.
lot of space for that.
Okay.
As much as I would want to, I think that's a separate category. So
Okay.
I'm going arcade cabinets.
Okay.
Yep.
Wow.
Because I feel like so many of those games
Yeah.
are. I mean, game preservation is such a huge thing, but I feel like arcade machines are way harder to preserve. I mean, there's a lot of arcade classics, of course. A lot of those games are available now, emulation, what have you, whatever. But like the feel of the arcade cabinet, you cannot. Like you can have Time Crisis at home, I don't care, but like it's not Time Crisis in the arcade with the gun con. Like
That's true. That's very true.
And like racing cabinets too, sitting in the thing. Like
Well, don't forget the Sega ones. That go,
friggin'
"Whoa,
Afterburner, the Star Wars arcade machine. Damiani's bounced. Friggin'
He's there.
Okay, there he is. There he
Okay.
is.
It's just his
Yeah.
focus.
I heard
is bounced.
Battle
I heard
Pod.
Star Wars.
Yeah, the Star Wars trilogy arcade game.
Arcade
dude.
game.
Yes, like those are so many. There are so many arcade experiences that are you cannot replicate, even if you have the game at home somehow. So, yeah.
Don.
Jaguar CD.
Jaguar.
Ooh.
Good stuff. Yeah, it's funny because the way I first like took this question is like one that I would like want to do, and like I was like, oh, if I want to do one, like I would probably go with something that was smaller, and so like N64 is the first thing that came to mind. But then we already know two people doing that, so I was like, okay, what else?
Dreamcast, baby.
It would not be easy,
Dreamcast.
even though there's such a limited amount, but get all those Virtual Boy games.
That's fun. That's a great pick. Fun pick.
Yeah. But yeah, some of those very limited prints and all of that.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Happy birthday again, Connell.
Happy birthday.
From Andy Schreiner. Hey, allies. I love the HD 2D look. Octopath Traveler and Triangle Strategy look fantastic, and they take full advantage of it. And it's no different for Dragon Quest III and Dragon Quest 1 and 2 that were just shown off this week. The problem here is that it's only being used in JRPGs. Why haven't platformers or top-down sims taken advantage of this yet? What games do you think would be able to elevate themselves with this graphical style?
I'll beat him up for sure.
I think like I was saying earlier, Metal Slug
Metal
would be
Slug, yeah.
perfect. Like action, if you could rotate it down too, if it wasn't stuck in the isometric, but you could rotate that isometric view with that focus and with the pixels, like that super pixelated look. If you had destructible environments and you just see the pixel damage, like just particle effects exploding all over the screen.
Yeah.
I think Metal Slug would look.
Would an
neat.
RTS work this way? I don't know.
I mean, yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on what kind of RTS, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think it works so well for RPGs because people like making a 3D map environment in 3D environments and having like the sprites still traverse it. It just kind of like works. Whereas I feel like in like a side-scrolling platformer, I mean, you could do 2D HD, but we already have like 2.5D, which is like it would just be like an effect at that point. I don't think it really like I don't know. It's not like the same. So yeah, it'd have to be something that would really like benefit from that. So I don't think like a platform, like a side-scrolling platformer or action game, any of those. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they just need to make one and like show it. But like Ninja Gaidens or Castlevanias or Marios, I don't know if those would necessarily benefit from something like that. But maybe like, I mean, obviously we're seeing, like the Legend of Zelda, like OG Legend of Zelda 1, like 2D HD, like 3D environment, but like it's still sprites for everything else. That could be pretty sick. I mean, we had the what's it called? The 3D, the Pixel
Remaster?
The one that was Zelda that I didn't want to ever play. Everyone told me to play a million times. I can't remember its name. Not Pixel Junk. 3D Dot
Game,
Heroes.
I was just going to say,
3D
was
Dot
3D
Heroes,
Dot
yeah.
Game Heroes
Yeah.
the progenitor of all this? That was my next
A
question.
little bit. I mean,
Yeah,
they had the
I
Joseph
think. Yeah,
and,
I feel like we already
yeah.
had that, so like we kind of did that. Any of now, like what Link's Awakening and Echoes of Wisdom are doing. It's like, oh, you could just put sprites in that world, and it's like almost
Right.
kind
Is
of
that game
it,
worth
right?
anything? Can I sell that?
No.
Maybe I don't know actually.
It's pretty widely available, I think. Yeah. The thing I was thinking of, which would be interesting, because like a lot of those, like even Dragon Quest 3, like they have very similar looks. So I think it would be interesting to kind of take the same concept and then do something like we were talking about with like that Chrono Trigger box art, right? Like, you know, if your sprites actually looked like the illustrations, you know, they're still 2D essentially, you know, and make these big crazy Chrono Trigger sprites, you know, in a world that you can explore a little bit more and sort of 3D-ish could be cool. Also, Chrono Trigger had that crazy little racing mini game that used like Mode 7 and stuff that could work well in that kind of a style. Let's play a game. Oh yeah, I like this one. This comes from Mr. Brownie. Hello, allies. Longtime fan, first time submitting here. If you recall, Capcom held a survey a while back on their website, and the results are in.
I already know the answers for a lot of these.
Well, we'll find out if you can remember them.
Okay.
Some interesting stuff if you want to check it out. For example, the Capcom series that fans most want a sequel or a new game out of
Crisis.
is Dino Crisis.
Remembers.
One of the survey questions was, who is your favorite Capcom character? With with more than 800 options to choose from Leon S. Kennedy to a mere zombie. So today, I bring you a game called Capcom vs. Capcom. I will present 2 Capcom characters, and you have to guess which one had more votes.
Great.
Oh boy, okay, that's good.
Side with the nerds on this. That's the
Let's go.
That's the strat.
All right, number 1, Leon Scott Kennedy versus Dante.
Dante.
Don?
I'll go Kennedy.
It's Dante. You got it.
Side with the weebs on this, dude. Trust.
26,874 versus
Trust.
23,000.
Gotta get Leon some
Yep.
white hair.
Promise.
417.
That was pretty close.
Ada Wong versus Morrigan from Darkstalkers.
Oh, Morrigan, 1,000,000%. Morrigan.
Fuck, that's a good one.
That's really tough.
Damn, that's a good one.
I'll
I'll say Ada actually this time.
go Morrigan.
It is Ada.
Just because of the recency.
Yeah, recency.
Yeah.
It's very, very, very close. 3,023 versus 2,986.
Very close.
Woo.
Yeah. Marissa from Street Fighter 6 versus Mike Hagar from Final Fight.
Please let
Hagar.
the mayor win.
Yeah, we want
Please
Hagar.
let the mayor
It's not,
win.
though.
It's Hagar.
Oh,
Yes.
nice.
Yes,
Yes.
the mayor.
There we go. Well done.
482 votes versus 180 votes.
Wow.
All right.
Puke Puke versus the main pawn of Dragon's Dogma.
Puke Puke.
Oh my-
Always,
yeah.
dude, Monster Hunter
Please.
is a force.
Okay.
I agree.
It's the main pawn.
No.
Why?
Puke Puke though.
That's a meme answer.
Come
Yeah,
on.
we gotta remember memes, guys.
Yeah. Weebs and memes.
Joe Baker versus Gutsman from Mega Man.
Oh, probably. Oh no, recency bias. But
It's probably
is this
Gutsman.
is this worldwide?
I think so.
We know. Okay, Gutsman. Then?
Gutsman.
I'll say Joe Baker just because of the recency thing again. Like, I don't know.
It's Joe Baker.
Nice.
I was like, who's thinking of Guts?
Hell yeah. Joe Baker, dude. Legacy lives on.
I love this one. This is what a pairing. Zangief
Yes, winner.
versus Ethan Winters.
Zangief.
Come on.
Zangief.
Zangief.
Do not disrespect
It's
Geef.
Ethan.
Oh, what?
Ethan got
How
more
on
votes.
earth? Okay,
I thought
you're
everybody
taking the
hated
memes
me.
too
What is
far.
this? What is
You've
this
taken the
revisionist
memes
history?
I don't know
too
what's going on.
far.
What is this
You've taken-
revisionist shit? Everybody talked so much mad shit on Ethan. What?
It's a meme. They're voting him high on purpose to troll.
That's right. You're right. You're 100% right. Yo, I love Ethan Winters, dude.
Dr. Wily
That is insane.
versus Hunk from RE2.
Ooh.
Great one.
That's so tough.
Hunk is a fan.
dude, I'm going
gonna
Hunk.
go. I want Hunk to win,
Yeah, I want Honk.
but I'm scared.
I'm gonna go Wiley.
It's Hunk.
Honk, baby.
Yeah.
Legend.
530 versus 348.
Mr. Death.
Cry more on the grovel more on the ground, Wiley.
The Grim Reaper, dude. Mr. Death. Don't mess with him.
All right,
Code
last
Veronica
one.
remake, dude. There better be a hunk nod.
Last one. Regina from Dino Crisis versus Frank West from Dead Rising.
Regina.
I go Frank West.
Feel like with the vibes I'm getting, I'm gonna say Regina.
Frank West is meme worthy.
Regina blew him out of the water.
Nice.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I have a feeling
The
it's
Dino
just
Crisis.
the direction.
The Dino Crisis fans came out for this poll, dude, heavily. Like the number one most wanted game. They ranked like one of the polls too was like their favorite series or favorite game, and Dino Crisis ranked above Resident Evil 4 or something. It's insane.
Yeah. Regina had 6,595. Frank had 2,572.
He covered wars, you know.
Yeah. There you go.
Did.
All right, it's time for bets. This week's bet, Megacopter, is out tomorrow. Hubert doesn't know where he put his bet. He found it. He found it. It's inspired by the likes of Choplifter, Airwolf, Desert Strike, Urban Strike, all that stuff.
Baby, Jungle Strike.
If you like helicopters, there's a helicopter game coming for you tomorrow. Or it's already out if you're watching this on the public viewing. In the first real level, any kind of tutorial training mission, they don't count. I will get in the chopper and I will fly forward without shooting or dodging. How long will it take before I get blown out of the sky? Huber, Stealthy Centipede.
2 minutes.
2
wow.
minutes.
I'm hoping you
Okay.
fly to a corner and you just hang out in that corner, blood.
All right.
That is
You
my.
said fly
that's where-
straight ahead, right?
Yeah.
That's my logic.
Forward, I don't know what forward means until we get in the game.
Okay.
Forward could mean like up and to the right. It could mean straight. It could mean straight to the right.
I see.
Whatever forward is for the game. And then we go. Damiani, Pompous Cocker Spaniel, how long?
27 seconds.
27 seconds. All right. And then I've got Isla and Gabby's here. So Isla says 43 seconds for the wet hummingbird. Gabby was 20 seconds. And then Don, Fashionable Manatee,
45 seconds.
45. There we go. Ooh, that's a tight race. And because I got their bets, I'm forfeit on this one.
What?
Because they sent them to me before, so I can't bet. 'cause
All
I
of a
already
sudden,
knew-
you're
already
gonna
knew
play
their
by the
bets.
rules
sent-
now in the
I'm
middle of
always
June.
playing by the rules.
They sent you their bets before you presented the bet to us?
Yeah,
That's odd. So you presented the bet to them before us.
I mean it's basically the same time, but yeah. So I was waiting for Huber to get here.
Suggesting.
All right.
Don.
It was in private messages, one-on-one messages. Nobody else could see them. They couldn't see each other's.
Okay. All right.
Last week's bet, Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erdtree, is out
Yeah. It is.
tomorrow.
I think it's right now, actually.
Yeah, is the time?
I think it's.
give
I
it
think
today?
it's live.
Yeah?
I think people are playing it.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. People play.
Yeah.
Last week I asked how many likes that launch trailer would have on the official Bandai Namco Entertainment of America YouTube channel. Huber bet 18,000 likes.
That's way too many.
Damiani bet 11,000. Isla bet 12,000. Don was out. Gabby bet 5,000.
What was I thinking?
And I bet 6,421.
Where the hell was I, dude?
The amount of likes that it had before we started shooting, 24,000. Huber,
man.
you won that bet. He's sitting here dogging himself the whole time with a winning bet.
Backed myself into that one. Jeez. All right.
To be clear, the previous trailer we looked at had like gotten 30,000 in like 3 weeks.
That's probably where I was coming from. Okay,
Yeah.
Okay. Sick.
Also, Don, last week Kyle won the bet, so you got a point from him.
Yeah.
So both you and Huber will get to split the rights and responsibilities at the end.
Hey, thanks, Kyle.
Yeah.
So that brings our total scores to 8 for the Stealthy Centipede, with Dawn having 2. It's the Fashionable Manatee.
Swing.
Did not remember that's what your noise was. That's great. Let me tell you about patreon.com/easyallies. Everything that we do here is because wonderful people like yourself contribute to Easy Allies each and every month. So whether that's through a Twitch sub or a one-time donation, or a couple people throw in those super thanks things on YouTube, you can do that in the comments. So thank you for people that do that. Whatever you're comfortable with, but the most productive, efficient way to support us is at patreon.com/easyallies. Get in there, put in a monthly pledge, and for your pledge, we have all these different kinds of rewards. So whatever you think that you're comfortable with for all of the stuff that you get each and every month, we have these different tiers. So at the $5 tier, you get this podcast 2 days early, ad-free, with 2 bonus Love and Respect questions. You get to submit to Love and Respect each and every week, and you get into that Discord where you can vote on those top 10 trains. $10 you get on those contributor tier. We had Stream Team this week where we played Duck Detective.
Yeah.
So you get to submit and vote on that.
Great game.
And then we got our community showcase coming up on Tuesday. And then $25 and up are our producer tiers. Our platinum producers get a shout out on this podcast each and every week. And this month's shout outs go to Javawabs, Elthanis, and Forever Ender. Shout out. All right. Still Summer Game Fest stuff rolling out, so keep an eye out and check it out, those playlists and all of that. If you missed them, we had a couple more previews this week. Huber played 2 hours of Black Myth Wukong. We talked about that. Damiani, as we said, played that Dragon Quest III HD 2D. I played Hello Kitty, and I talked about that with Elise and Isla, as well as Tales of the Shire that they both played, which is pretty great. And then next week is an odd one. I need to fly out for some family business. Nobody's going to be around second half. Huber's going to Vegas again. So keep
You know who's gonna be there? Tokyo Slim, and we're gonna be rolling dice at the craps table, baby.
I mean, if you're gonna be in Vegas,
Dude,
keep an eye out.
No, I shoot the signal flare up every time I'm in Vegas. Meet me at the craps table. Do you want to know how many times I've been met at the craps table? 0 times.
Okay.
So y'all are cowards.
Okay.
Yep.
But have you hung out with Susie? Isn't she local?
Haven't met up with her in Vegas.
Okay.
No.
Well,
yeah. So
send a
I'll be there
DM or
Wednesday to
something.
Saturday.
See if she's around.
So we like to roll the dice.
Yeah. But so because of all that, the podcast will be shooting early. Don't have the schedule locked in yet, but keep an eye out for updates and Twitter stuff and all of that stuff. I'm looking at Monday. I don't know if everyone can do Monday yet, but we'll find out. Now, Don and Huber, you get to shout out anything or anyone that's on your mind this week. You get a final word. You get a trademark sign off. Pick who gets what.
Can I do the shout out, Don?
Oh, okay.
You want it? You want it?
I was hoping to do the shout out.
Go for it, man. Go for it.
All right. Shout out to this golden age of retro gaming. Shout out to not only the Marvel collection, but everything that Limited
is what I
Run
was
is
gonna say.
doing. It's
There you
too
go.
good to be true.
Combo.
Yep.
Too good to be true. Huber, we have so many modern games happening, but now we have this glut
Yeah.
of beautiful, Gex. Are you kidding me? Shout out to the 3DO, good times, good memories. It's just The only problem is, right, just too much to get, too much to purchase, but at least, like you said, game preservation, we know it's there. In many cases, physical form. Okay.
Hell yeah.
So moving on to future generations, this stuff is available. It is awesome. I'm loving it.
I made sure to pick up a physical of the MGS collection recently, Don. Get that thing.
Nice.
Just physical copies of this stuff.
Feels so good.
Yeah.
Final word?
Final word. I don't know, man. Final word. What if I don't have a final word? Just, Elden Ring's a great game.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you
Elden
go.
Ring's great. Yeah. This year has had some really, really excellent DLC, some really excellent RPGs, and some really excellent puzzle games. I think those 3 genres
Don't forget Metroidvanias. Freaking
and Metroidvania,
Animal Well,
those
Prince of Persia.
4 genres are absolutely firing on all cylinders. You love to see it.
And who's signing off?
Take it away, Don.
Oh, what was my sign off again? It's been so long since I won a bet. I didn't win a bet since like 2021.
It can be whatever you like,
What was that sign off?
but you just need to show the camera.
What was my sign off, chat? You're a great racer. That was from the year before. All right, I'm going to do that one again unless they get in there real quick. No one remembers my sign off. It's been so long since I've won a bet. All right. I can't remember either. You're a great racer. There's a retro sign off to celebrate retro games.
Wanted.
Magneto.